Hello, everyone. Ashley Glass alongside Laura Harris coming to you live from the ABC Action News newsroom where we are talking all things solar eclipse.
Look, it's already starting.
For hours. Here it is. Since we're coming to everyone via social media right now, via our live abcactionnews.com/live, via Facebook, maybe you're kind of linked in through Twitter, watching us through our free mobile app. I want to tell you, as you're taking pictures of yourself, maybe at a viewing party, we want to see your pictures, is what I'm trying to tell you. So we're asking that as you're with us this afternoon for the solar eclipse, if you will hashtag everything eclipse action. Hashtag eclipse action. So everything you see from me, everything you see from Laura this afternoon will say hashtag eclipse action.
We're going to do that. Check this out. You're looking at Lincoln Beach, Oregon right now. It's already started over on the West Coast. You can see just a little bit there to the top right. And this eclipse is now happening.
We've been watching that feed out of Oregon too, and there are people just scattered all over the beach, watching this, taking in this view, hopefully with their safety solar eclipse glasses. But it's pretty cool when you see it right there. We've been talking about this, the build-up for so long, and you see from our live picture right here from Lincoln Beach, Oregon, it's starting.
And it is the first point of contact. So local time, it's 9:05 there, 12:05, well 12:07 now, but 9:07 there. So that's like the kind of when it starts across the country. And it's so funny because we're looking at the beach right now on our end, and it's just sunny outside, like it hasn't hit in Florida yet. So that's super cool.
Right.
Look
it's
at
just
this.
such a little tiny sliver right now.
It's happening.
It's starting. So a lot of our Facebook Live viewers, a lot of our viewers that frequent abcactionnews.com, where maybe you're watching this right now, live in the Tampa Bay area. So let's talk about, kind of what's going to happen in Tampa Bay for just a little bit. It really gets started in our area, Laura, about 1:17 p.m. But that's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. It's going to go all the way to 4:14. That's when you're going to see it cross all the way across, and then you're going to be able to see the sun again. The max eclipse, though, in our area is going to be 250, and I think we're going to see about 81%, so that's pretty cool.
It's 81.4% is the coverage. So I was talking with someone last night, trying to visualize what does 81.4% darkness looks like. It's hard to really pinpoint that on a normal sunset, for instance, just how dark is it going to get in the Tampa Bay area. I guess we'll find out at 2:50 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. What's super cool, though, I was looking at the weather across the country, especially on that line of Totality, and it looks like everyone's going to be able to see it.
That's great.
There's not going to be any rain or, like the whole time I've been thinking on this buildup, I'm like, this is super awesome, but what if it rains?
And she has been asking that question daily.
What if it rains?
You have been very concerned that there could be clouds.
What if it rains?
Rain.
And then we don't see it.
That is great news that the weather is not a concern. Of course, there's,
some spots.
Room for some spots here and there, but and meteorologist Greg D, I know, is going to be joining us just a little bit later here on this live coverage to talk to us about what it's going to be like in the Tampa Bay area weather-wise. But like you said, so far we're not anticipating any major problems.
No, not at all. So far, so good. I did want to point out a couple of these little tidbits that we have, though, from our web department. There were some eclipse myths that people are trying to debunk.
So you want to bust them?
Here's one for you. The eclipse will not poison any of your food that is prepared during the event. Good to know, because I just had some carrots.
So did people think that?
That was apparently something that was going around the internets, and people believe things they see on the internets. You can't believe everything you read. Also, you can watch the eclipse if you're pregnant.
This is my favorite one.
Many thought you couldn't because of the false idea that harmful radiations are emitted during a total solar eclipse. It's a harmless effect. Will not harm you if you're pregnant. Just like anything else, you need to wear some sunscreen, because I'm sure if you're outside before it happens, it's going to be hot out there.
Yeah, both you and I have been talking to various, experts in the weeks leading up to this, eye doctors, a lot of people that are really into all things science and space. I didn't even think to talk to, an OB, a doctor, about do they have patients, pregnant women coming in, asking this question, is this safe?
Right.
So thank you for debunking that myth.
There it is.
All expectant mamas out there, it is safe. You want to hear another?
I'm ready for it.
More myth
I'm
busts
ready for
here?
it.
There is no physical relationship between a total solar eclipse and your health, period.
So nothing bad can happen to me just because of the solar eclipse.
But on the flip side, nothing good is going to happen. Your health is what it is, regardless of what's happening up in the sky today.
Also, though, remember Ashley Glass did a story on this. What could be bad, and we're hoping people heed this warning, you can't be out there stopping on the interstate hoping for the best. Keep driving your car. If you really want to see it, make sure you're in a spot to see it. Don't drive down the highway and try to watch it at the same time.
No, no, no. You do not want to do that. Hey, as you're watching too this live picture, we're looking at Lincoln Beach, Oregon. So really soak this in, because next on the docket here is Phoenix, the next to really see it. So really take a look at this, what you're seeing from Lincoln Beach, Oregon. Let's go back to driving for a minute. So we talked to Florida Highway Patrol about this, and they said, you know, if you're driving and you do want to watch, the best thing to do is pull over in, you know, a parking lot, a rest area, places that are appropriate to pull over. If everyone was pulling over on the side of the highway or the interstate or even a rural road, I mean, that's what could lead to crashes.
Exactly, exactly. And here's what's really cool to me. So a lot of people have been saying that, you know, well, why is this such a rare event? Because don't we have these? Didn't we have one in the 70s, blah, blah, blah? Well, that's true. We did. However, a solar eclipse that has crossed the entire United States has not happened since June 8th, 1918.
So that's like nearly 100 years.
That's super cool that we are watching this. Look at it. It's kind of like a movie. Like, it's hard to believe that this is what... That's incredible.
You know, this is probably, I mean, I guess we'll find out when we get outside here in about an hour, Laura, but this is probably the better view here, is watching it on the screen via, you know, these live links through abcactionnews.com, because, I mean, I just can't imagine you get a clearer view than this.
That is just so cool. It's just truly incredible. And just imagine, so Dennis Phillips was telling us before he went on his excursion, he's in North Carolina? I have written this, yes, Columbia, South Carolina. That is one of the points of Totality. And he said that it's going to be so dark that you're going to see the stars in the sky. Like, it's going to literally look like nighttime for 2 minutes.
For just a couple minutes.
It's just incredible to me.
We also, like we said, we've been doing a lot of different... Dennis is live on Facebook. You were just talking about Dennis. Let's dip into him for just a few minutes and see what Dennis is up to from Columbia, South Carolina.
You need your glasses. They recommend about 2 seconds before totality, you have a little bubbling of the sky around the sun. It's actually called Bailey's beads, and what it does is the sunlight actually going through the craters and the mountains of the moon, and it kind of sparkles, and that leads you to totality. So when you hit totality, you don't need your glasses. In fact, you won't see anything with your glasses. If you're in Tampa, I'll say it again, you need your glasses at all times, because you're never going to reach totality. You'll definitely see the shadow of the moon. You'll see it over the sun. It'll look cool, but at all times, you will need your glasses. So again, right now, you may have even noticed in our little live shot here, we had sunshine for a period of time. We've had clouds for a period of time. We're probably about 50-50, the odds right here of having sunshine during totality, which is at 2:41 and 51 seconds right here in Columbia, South Carolina. The Bay Area, it starts at about 1:15, 1:20, goes on till about 3:30 or 4. It starts just with a little sliver all the way up to 81% and then back after 4 o'clock. So we'll check in close to see. Look, and the sun just came back out again. So we're keeping our fingers crossed here that we're going to hit totality. Give your comments, your questions, and we'll have updates coming up later on right here on my Facebook page, as well as abcactionnews.com. We are streaming live with all the total eclipse coverage. Again, folks, a lot of people are getting a little bit, you know, oh, I'm over this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for a lot of folks. This might be your only chance in your life to see an eclipse. It is a cool thing. Enjoy it. Try not to be so jaded if you're a little tired of hearing about it. And remember, after today, you're not going to hear about it again for another 7 years, and maybe a lot longer than that. Hope you stick around.
All right, we had Dennis. We got some good info from him. As you're looking at Phoenix, Arizona now, the next place to kind of witness this.
It's like a little...
You can see it just creeping up. let's talk about some stuff we just learned from Dennis, too. You just saw him in Columbia, South Carolina. The sun was shining on Dennis in his ABC Action News polo in all of his glory. He said he's going to experience 51 seconds of darkness where he is. And he's just in his element right now.
It's just awesome. And there are a couple places that are going to experience complete totality. So, and I shouldn't say complete totality because totality is complete, but the path that the moon's shadow. I just thought about that out loud. It's like completely destroyed. No, it's just destroyed. Lincoln Beach, Oregon.
Which is where we just were.
Right. And then to Charleston, South Carolina, very close to where Dennis is. That's like the line. And if you go on abcactionnews.com/eclipse, you will see every city, every state that's in that line of totality. And those are the people who will see that complete darkness.
So now that we're here and it's Eclipse Day, I was thinking, you know, the 81%-ish that we're going to see darkness here. I mean, that's cool enough. But I'm going to say I'm a little jealous right now that I'm not standing where Dennis Phillips is standing, because they're going to see this totality, this total darkness Laura was just talking about, because it's such a rare thing. I mean, I'm sure our 81% coverage view will be awesome, but I'm a little jealous, Dennis Phillips, if you're out there listening to us.
And just these people who have traveled so far. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys saw some of the traffic that was just around in different areas, people trying to get places, but you just saw a moment ago from Haley, Idaho, just kind of people camped out, waiting.
This is not total darkness.
Did it happen really quickly?
I think this is more of an issue with our feed.
Because it looked like it just kind of ran through there.
Don't worry. You're not missing anything. Wow, look at that shot. That shot you just saw a moment ago where you saw just the glow was just beautiful. We're getting our shots adjusted right here. We're kind of jumping all over the country and showing you the views from various places. So just hang on for 1 second, because you're seeing Haley, Idaho here, but we're not seeing the part we want to see.
We're going to take... We're getting kind of close here, though, guys, so we'll pay close attention. Again, we want to remind you, though, those of you who are checking in from the Tampa Bay area, we're going to start seeing something at 1:17 this afternoon. It's going to be the max eclipse. Ashley, what did you say? 81.4% of the sun will be covered, and then it goes all the way to 4:14. And if anybody walked into work this morning and was like, "I'm super excited about the solar eclipse," but wait a minute. What exactly is the solar eclipse? We've been talking about it for like 2-3 weeks now. Let me tell you so you can enlighten your friends.
There you go.
So we can enlighten your friends. It's going to be an event in which the moon passes between the sun and the earth and blocks all or part of the sun for up to about 3 hours.
Wow, can you imagine being in a place where, I mean, I guess everybody only gets darkness for just a couple of minutes, but
right.
Again, I just keep going back to some places get total darkness, and that's going to be a really neat view. We're taking you back now to Phoenix, Arizona, and you can see it's moving along. It looks, you know, more coverage than the last time we brought you this shot. And I wanted to point out some really great advice that a professional photographer told me in the week leading up to this. A lot of people might be tempted to take their cell phone and point it up at the sky and take a photo. You can do that. According to him, it won't damage your phone. Your phone will handle taking a picture, you know, right at the sun. But you're not going to get a good picture. So maybe the better idea would be to take a picture of your surroundings. Look around at the shadows. See if animals do any strange things. That might be your better photo op than pointing it up at the sun.
Yeah. And let's go to those eclipse glasses that everyone is just so excited about. Well, first, let's look at this. What are we looking at here, Ashley?
This is the line you were talking about, Laura, of kind of where they're going to have totality.
Oh, I see.
So this is a really cool map right here, and it shows you. It's like a little tiny arced, a little bit arced, but this is kind of where it starts and then where it leads to. We're back at Phoenix. That's a neat view. That's different than what we were seeing before.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't it? I mean, that's your best view right there. Better than standing outside with the glasses looking up.
Oh my gosh, and it just makes me laugh because remember how we talked about Chiquita Banana the company is trying to capitalize on the eclipse by saying that there's going to be a giant banana in the sky.
So you're waiting for the banana? Is that what you're saying?
It just was so funny to me. It's like, it's an exciting event. I mean, it's something that doesn't happen every day, every decade for that matter.
But when we get to the crescent moon shape, you're going to be thinking banana.
I'm going to be thinking about the
You're
bananas.
already thinking banana, and we're not even close to the crescent shape.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It worked on you.
How about this, though? Everyone in North America, parts of South America, Africa, and Europe will see at least a partial solar eclipse today.
Yeah. And we are switching our view. This is really neat how we're able to bring you these views from all over the country. Where are we going next?
Salem, Oregon.
We're going to Salem, Oregon. You kind of wonder, all these different towns and places. We've seen people on the beach in other parts of Oregon. You know, what's everyone up to in Salem? As we're going to give you the view there. There it is.
All right, hold on. Let's go back. I think we're looking at Phoenix again. Just bear with us, because all of us are.
We're queuing up.
We're watching
Salem,
it as you
Oregon.
are.
And again, we're here in the ABC Action newsroom doing this, but I said this right at the jump when we got started with our live coverage. If you're at a watch party, having a great time, everyone's, hanging out with their glasses, ready to go outside in a little bit, we would love to see your pictures. This is festive. This is fun. This is a time for people to get together, take a break from, anything stressing you out in your life, and just kind of take in this rare event. So if you're taking pictures at any kind of watch party, please hashtag them Eclipse Action. Eclipse Action. On Facebook, on Twitter, we want to see them.
I was laughing earlier because I thought to myself, these next couple hours are going to be the least productive probably in schools and workplaces across the country, because people are going to want to see this.
Of course.
It's incredible.
People are going to want to see it. People have planned to see this. Some schools are making plans. Our Eric Waxler, ABC Action News reporter, he's in Newport Richey at Bayonet Point Elementary, where they have this whole plan in place where the kids are going to step out of class to watch this. Other places, there are excused absences at schools, so parents are keeping their kids home to kind of as a family decide what they want to do to take in the solar eclipse or not. But I'm excited to hear from Eric Waxler later on today to just see what the kids at Bayonet Point are doing, because they get to stop what they're doing and take this in with their classmates.
Exactly. And I think it's super cool that in less than an hour we're going to see this start here. So we're live in our ABC Action newsroom, just kind of watching it from afar.
And we've had this countdown going forever. So it's really cool to see the countdown in minutes now, not in days and hours. We're getting there. 53 minutes.
This is super awesome. And like for people who haven't experienced something like this before, I mean, Ashley, we've been talking about it for the last, month?
At least.
But I never expected it to be, and so many people have been Facebooking us and calling us. Friends of mine, I saw this morning, they were like, hey, you got any of those glasses? You shouldn't have waited to the last minute. But wait, there's more. You can go on our website right now, and we show you how to make your own glasses with just a cardboard box.
Okay, so that's a great backup option. The whole cereal box, way to view it, but it's not going to be the same as if you have the glasses and you can look up. Even better than you're kind of viewing with the box thing is just to stick with us on this live coverage, because we're giving you great views all over the country.
Exactly.
We did kind of a test run of the whole cereal box thing with the sun, and it's just so small. The scope is small. What you see is small. You just kind of see the shapes of what's happening, but you don't really get to experience it. So stick with us. We'll give you the views.
So Dan's trying to hide out of the camera views here, but this is Dan back here.
Oh, hey.
That's Dan. There's Kelly. There's Matt Borick. There's Garfield. There's Ashley.
Hi, everybody.
So this is like the whole team that we got going on here. But this who we're looking at here is Salem, Oregon, Ashley. The people waiting.
Look at all those people camped out, just ready. This guy in the front here is kicked back, laid down.
Can you imagine? Look at her stretching.
Solar eclipse glasses on, just ready to hang out and take it in. This is what I was talking about, though. It's festive. It's a way for people to just gather and, you know,
This should be an
experience
excused
something.
absence day off, because this is like witnessing history. You should be able to go about your business. I just love seeing the beach here, and then the people who are just waiting for it, you know?
And people who are watching us on your Facebook Live, Laura, are probably wondering, you know, are they coming to us from Florida? Because they're in
wondering.
sweaters. It's because it's a little cold in the ABC Action News newsroom, so we're in the sweaters. But yes, we are coming to you from Tampa, Florida, as we're looking at all these live pictures. And on our abcactionnews.com/eclipse, on our free mobile app, you are seeing the view from Salem, Oregon right now. We got the countdown on the left. 50 minutes. We're well within
Ashley, this is it.
the countdown, the 1 hour.
This is it.
On the right there, again, all those people just hanging out. You know, I would like to see them with some coolers of food, though. 'Cause
What would you
this is a
bring,
little
though,
bit-
to
I
an
would
eclipse?
I would bring peanut butter
picnic?
and jelly. I'd bring some moon-shaped cookies.
Moon pies.
Moon pies. Yeah, moon pies. That's a good one.
Moon pies. What else would we bring?
I'd probably bring some Capri Suns. Get it? See what I did there? Capri Suns.
That's a nice one. Those
could
were
go
my
for a
jam
Capri
back in
Sun
the day.
right now.
I know, those were my jam. I want to read some more of this to you, though, because we've got some cool information here. So what Ashley was talking about earlier, that path of totality, the thin path will pass through portions of 14 states. The path will be around 70 miles wide. That's it. So once you get to that state, you have to be within that 70-mile line, or you're not going to see totality. How crazy
But
is
you'll
that?
see some.
You'll see some
something.
of it.
Everybody will see something, which is cool.
Are we going to the rooftop? Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go now, in just a little bit. We're going to have live pictures on the rooftop. There you go, right there, of what it looks like. Look how beautiful Raymond James looks. The beautiful skies in
It
Tampa.
does look beautiful, but those are some clouds. Those could mess
I'm
things
nervous.
up for us.
I'm
So,
nervous.
About 50 minutes-ish for those clouds to just
I'm
clear
nervous.
out so we can see.
And it was super cool
Clouds.
how our
I'm talking to you.
Our chief photographer, Eric Moore, is up there right now with his camera, and he kind of had this whole rig where he'll be able to point straight at the sun, and it won't mess up his camera. It was a really cool how he had this whole thing working, but less than 48 minutes, and we'll be seeing it.
Awesome. Our 4 p.m. photographer, Tim Jones, he is going to try and capture a time lapse of the
that's gonna be awesome.
shadows. So Laura was just saying one of our photographers is pointing right
cool.
at the sun. Tim's going to try and get a time lapse to show like the shadows of the buildings and the trees moving around Tampa. So I'm really interested to see what his view looks like of the time lapse.
We did a story about what will your animal do? What will your pet do during this time? I didn't even think of that.
Really, the only way to know is to ask someone who lived it, you know, the last time this happened.
A whole long time ago.
And see what did their animals do.
I'm telling you, and the last time we had the solar eclipse crossing the U.S. was 1918.
It was a long
So that's
time
incredible.
ago, nearly 100 years. It was a long. So this was a question too. Sometimes you're driving around town and you accidentally glance at the sun, right? Mm-hmm. We can still see. We're fine.
Yep.
So people have been asking this question in various ways. You know, how is looking at the sun going to damage your eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need these glasses? So there's a Tampa eye doctor. His name's Dr. Leach, who explained it to me in a way that made sense. He said, yeah, you glance at the sun when you're driving. It's one thing, but this is an event, and you're going to need to stare to really see anything. You're not just going to glance.
It's
so
a long...
all that light coming in such a concentrated amount, and for a length of time, not a glance, is what would cause the damage. And he pointed out to me that it's irreparable, that if your eyes are damaged, you're out of luck.
Well, and I think what we're watching right now, is this still Oregon that we're seeing here? Yes. So that's a picture that you're seeing there from Oregon, and
it's really moving.
Yeah, this is super cool. And it's cool for people who aren't even, like, you know, Dennis Phillips was super excited, guys. Like, super excited.
That is an understatement.
But we're excited to see it just because it's awesome. You know, you can say, this is where I was when the eclipse happened.
Yeah, I was thinking, how will we, you know, explain this to our kids one day, or our nieces
I'll be like,
and nephews.
I was sitting next to Ashley
What were you
Glass.
doing on Solar Eclipse Day, Laura?
I was sitting next to Ashley Glass.
In 2017.
About to be on the roof without these sweaters. We probably should mention why we're wearing these.
I explained it. You were busy kind of looking at the live feeds, but I explained to people that yes, we're in Tampa. Yes, we're wearing sweaters. Yes, it's cold in the newsroom.
It is freezing
So they
in
get
here, like literally triple snowflake. It's 90 degrees outside though. Now we're looking at the picture of Phoenix. So see how the difference when you look, the picture we just had up was from Oregon, and this is Phoenix. So you can really tell how it's moving across the country. Slowly but surely, this whole thing is going to happen.
I love that orangey glow. Some of the shots we're seeing
Yeah.
more of the white and the black, but I love this orangey glow.
I liken this whole thing to like a roller coaster. So like you wait in line for hours to ride your favorite roller coaster or something that just opened. You get that 2-minute thrill, and then you get off to tell everybody about how it was.
But the difference is, that happens to me every time I get off a roller coaster. I'm like, I'm gonna go again. You can't go again.
You can't go again.
You got to just
You won't go again.
soak it in for a couple minutes.
You're just gonna like what's
because,
happening right there.
What is it? It's like 7 years when this will happen again? Though? So
It's-
not nearly as long
no.
of a wait.
I'm gonna show you guys what we can see. Say it again, Dan.
2024 is the next one that I think you'll be able to see in the United States.
2024.
So then, what is the? Yes.
So solar
And then it
solar
was-
eclipses happen like once every 18 months.
You know what, Dan? Let's get you on the mic. Come here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Get up here on the
Dan,
mic.
part of our digital web team, is going to
We're
kind
gonna
of tell
let
you
Dan get in
when's the
there.
next time this is happening.
So a total solar eclipse actually happens somewhere in the world like every 18 months. But this one is so special because we haven't seen one this clear in the United States in like 38 years. But you'll have another view of one in the United States in the year 2024, I believe in April.
And will it be like epic like this one, seen east to west coast, or is it, a smaller scale one in 2024?
I don't know that information, but
Okay.
we can find that out, I'm
well,
sure.
well, that's what happens when we put you on the
Yes.
spot. You can't know everything, right, Dan?
Yeah. But
Dan
no, I mean
Trivia
this.
right here.
But this one, I mean, is a big deal just because it's been so long. It's been, I think it's like 1978 or something like that.
Sure.
So it is really cool to see everybody, all looking at the same sky.
Yeah. All right, Dan, come back to us with more knowledge as it comes in.
I'll do my best.
We enjoyed that. So again, if you're just joining us via abcactionnews.com/eclipse, via our free mobile app, during Facebook Live, we are bringing you pictures from all over the country. We're kind of sticking right in that line, that arc, where people are seeing totality when it comes to this solar eclipse. But you're looking at two views right here. Hey, web team, what are the views we're looking at right now?
So we're switching out. We still have Phoenix on the right side.
You got Phoenix on the right
and
with
then
the
we're about
orange
to
glow.
We're about to switch the left screen to Haley, Idaho.
Haley, Idaho is coming up on your left momentarily. Haley, Idaho will be coming up on the left. There it is, Haley, Idaho. On the right is Phoenix. And you could tell Haley, Idaho looks a little more progressed. I don't know, maybe it's the same. You let me know. Again, on the right is Phoenix. I sure hope the photos are coming in too. Again, we want to see your watch parties. We want to kind of see what you're doing to get excited about this. Are you spending it with your kids? Are you spending it with your grandparents? Are you and your, best friends taking the day off work, hanging out, watching this? We want to know what you're doing. So post your pictures to Twitter, to Facebook, and hashtag them Eclipse Action. And we'll kind of get a good aggregate here of what people in our area, what people all over the country are doing to celebrate this. It really does have a celebratory feel from what we have seen so far. People camped out, people on the beach, people, laying on a lawn with a bunch of other friends. So it's really neat that this rare event is being celebrated, and it's just kind of giving everyone a chance to come together, take a break from life, and enjoy this rare event. And if you're keeping a close eye on our ABC Action News countdown, you'll notice that we are 41 minutes, 55 seconds, and counting from the eclipse here. And it's just really exciting. We've been building up to this for a really long time, doing all kinds of stories. We've been talking to a lot of you in the Tampa Bay area about what you're doing, how you're going to watch this. Some people are buying the solar eclipse glasses and going to watch it that way. Some people have told me that they just want to watch it on the web. They're just going to go to abcactionnews.com and kind of watch it that way. And so however you're doing it, however you're viewing, we want to see your pictures. We're going to take a little break. We're going to leave you with the countdown and some live pictures from across the country, and we will be back soon.
We're back, party people on the Eclipse side. This is now Madras, Oregon. Check out those people, Ashley.
Yeah, this is like what we've been seeing all over the country. People just hanging out,
I
lawn
love it.
chairs,
I love
just
it.
laying on the lawn, you know, ready to view this thing.
I love it. And what I'm doing right now is posting to, I love how people are texting me and saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? You should be watching the eclipse.
Well, someone just talked on my Facebook page and from Ellis said, go back to work. We are working.
This is it.
This is a
the biggest
huge
thing going on
news,
right now.
life rare event, Ellis.
Yeah.
So
this is our jam
we're
right now.
working, and I hope you're hanging with us and telling us what you're up to, everyone.
So what is, okay, so right now in Madras, Oregon, the people you see right there to the right of your screen, they are seeing basically now the sun is halfway covered, which is pretty awesome. It looks like a really large banana.
You know what I'm struck by, though?
We're about to switch that for you so you can see it too.
Not everyone is really looking up. I mean, some people are looking up, but I feel like people are just hanging out.
Some of them are like, I thought this was going to be quick.
Yeah, I mean, people are just kind of walking around, talking, chatting. It's not all eyes up to the sky with the solar eclipse glasses on in Madras, Oregon. You see that countdown there? 33 minutes.
Until it starts happening here. And you know what that means? We'll be upstairs on the roof. We've already got a crew up there, and we're just going to kind of go and watch. It's going to be 81%, but that's going to be a lot, Ashley. Like, I mean, it's still going to get pretty dark up there.
It will. I don't really have I can't grasp how dark 81% is, but I mean, we'll find out shortly.
Can I drop this knowledge on you really quick? No, go ahead. You ready? Can I drop this knowledge on you really quickly? Now, this, of course, is not coming from me. This is coming from our web department, who's so smart. Because they can be mathematically predicted across the thousands of years, solar eclipses are a reaffirmation that there is a sublime clockwork regularity to the universe, as Sir Isaac Newton admired more than 300 years ago.
Wow, that is deep. That is deep eclipse knowledge. Thank you for that.
I don't even, what does that even mean? Did you write this? Okay.
Hey, anytime you can work in the word sublime
goes-
to describe anything and put it in perspective, I'm on board.
Oh, look, it's Greg D. Greg D. We're on the Facebook Lives.
Meteorologist Greg D just arrived, everyone.
And he's wearing his hot pants.
You know, we've been curious to talk to him because we want to know what the weather's going to be like. Greg, can you hop in?
Have a seat, man.
Hot
Ashley
seat.
Glass.
Are we on the phone here?
We're on the
You're in
phone.
the hot seat.
Okay, all right.
You're in the hot seat with your box of
Okay.
Cheerios.
I love Cheerios. They're so good.
So just so you kind of get the lay of the land, this
Okay.
is Facebook Live here. And then also this is what everybody's seeing through our free mobile app, through abcactionnews.com.
Okay.
And this is from Madras, Oregon. This is their view
it's
right now.
happening.
And then on the left, that's of course Tampa, Raymond James Stadium.
Okay.
What's up with those clouds, Greg D? Is
They're
this going to
called
be a mess?
fair weather clouds. This is what happens in Florida. Don't panic yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yet.
This is just the way it's going to have to be. I can't guarantee that one cloud is not going to be over your house while this is happening. There you see it on satellite. So I just loaded this into our weather computer.
So what are we looking at here?
Okay.
Is it
So
cloud cover?
yes, so it's black and white to show you the contrast, but each one of those little white dots is one of those little individual fair weather clouds. And
Okay.
notice they mainly pop up over land. So head to the coast if you want to be guaranteed sunshine.
Okay.
But right now, none of those have developed into a rain shower. So they're
Okay.
just little puffy clouds. Hopefully they'll stay that way till about 3, 4 o'clock.
Am I accurate in saying those puffy clouds, though? I mean, they're usually on the move.
They
So
are.
If it's a moment of
Yeah.
obscurity, that should be okay.
It should be
right?
okay.
It's not,
And, like-
it's not going to ruin your life.
And here's the
your
deal.
Eclipse life.
Right. So here's the deal, right? Like, not totality, but the peak here, Tampa, around 250, 245, that doesn't just last a minute. Okay? So leading up to it, the sun's 80% covered for 2 or 3 minutes. Afterwards, it's 80% covered for 2 to 3 minutes. So if you miss a minute of that, or 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, it's okay.
But what we really don't want to miss is, what is it, 2:48 is like the best
It's
part
the best
in
time,
Tampa.
but if you just happen not to get it at 2:48, but you get the sun at 2:49 or 2:45 or 2:52, it's okay.
Okay.
You won't be able to tell the difference. Is
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
you're calming everyone
That-
down.
and that's because just think about it. It takes 3 hours for the moon to transition across the sun,
yeah.
so it is moving relatively slowly.
Yeah.
As you're watching the images there, we saw that earlier in Oregon. It wasn't just like flying through.
Right.
It's happening over time.
Right. This is the couple minutes that we keep talking about, we've been talking about it for like an hour, is the most darkness, the most coverage. But this is a prolonged event.
Correct. Don't like kill yourself here. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss 2:48, I can only be there at 2:40.
Right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, Carrie in Tampa wants to know, when is peak time in Tampa? I think it's 2:48. It might be 2:49.
2:48, 2:50. Yeah, it just
Right
depends on.
about there.
Okay, so this is Phoenix, and you see again live view here again. They're going to see. I saw the Grand Canyon saying about 60 some, maybe 70% coverage. Again, it's live, and notice how slowly it's happening.
Right.
You can barely see it move.
What is this like, experiencing this as a meteorologist? I mean, it's got to be different, you versus me. I mean, we're all bound by this rare event, but are you just totally geeked out, excited, stoked? Well, what is this like for you?
And especially being under the, we don't get to do this here in Tampa this time. Wait until 2045. We don't get to be under the track of totality. But just to think about the way that the moon and the sun and the earth are positioned, and the dance that they're always doing around each other, and the fact that during daylight hours, during a new moon, the moon just happens to be positioned in such a spot. When you look at the sky, look at all that space. And on this one day, this little tiny rock is just in the right spot of that gigantic blue sky to cover up the sun. I mean, the chances of it mathematically are so low that that would happen. That's why when you get a total eclipse and you get that total coverage, it only covers about 0.5% of the Earth's surface. That stripe of total eclipse, 0.5%. So if you happen to be in that once every 50 years, you'd be lucky.
Yeah.
So you got to feel lucky to even be this close to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Greg D, I love how your face is all lit up as
I'm
we're
all lit
talking about this. I mean, look at that smile. He can't even stop.
Eclipse and Cheerios have come together at once.
We talked about your cereal box earlier.
This has become infamous.
Before you were here, we talked about Greg D and a cereal box. For anybody who doesn't know, do you want to explain what's going on
so
here?
this is an example of a solar viewer. If you don't happen to have these totally cool solar glasses that we keep talking about, right? So this doesn't just work with a cereal box, by the way. It could be one of those UPS and FedEx shipping boxes. It could be a shoe box. It could be the Amazon box that you've got at home. Basically, you cut 2 holes in the top. First of all, you eat the Cheerios. It's the best part.
Don't waste the Cheerios.
You're not going to see anything if there's Cheerios in this box, okay? The other thing you want to do.
Thank you for pointing that out.
You know, sometimes you gotta make sure you're clear. You take out the bag, okay? At the bottom of the box, there is a white strip of paper that I've taped, just office paper. You do that just by tracing the box on a sheet of paper. Put that white sheet of paper inside, so it gives you a little reflecting surface. 2 holes in the top, both about the same size. I didn't measure these. I just kind of eyeballed it. Right there. So we got these 2 going. You cover one with aluminum foil, and you poke a little pinhole in the aluminum foil. You turn your back to the sun. You look in here, in the empty hole. Line it up just right so the hole's pointing at the sun, and you will see an image of the sun projected into the bottom of the box.
Easy as that. We got to take a quick break because Dennis is live from Columbia, South Carolina. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to go to Dennis Phillips now.
Do you have your protective eyewear?
Yeah, I
You do? Awesome.
Yep, everyone does.
Okay.
So make sure you wear your protective eyewear, or are you gonna? My eyes are starting to hurt because I looked at it earlier.
Oh yeah, be careful of that. Okay, Jake's like looking at me like, no dad. Jake has his football. That's his protective eyewear right there. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Actually, he's very excited. Jake's in 4th grade, and he's a little shy, but you're fired up about this, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is Shay's fraternity brother Caesar at UF, Chi Phi. Yeah, go Gators, right? And are you now? This is kind of unusual because you're not in our family. How did you end up here?
By the grace of God, you know, truly a blessing to be with the Phillips, always and forever.
Oh, there you go. All right, thank you very much, Caesar. Ryan? Everybody might know Ryan from my Facebook page.
Ryan, from the Eclipse.
Yeah, you're gonna watch the eclipse?
Yeah.
Do you have your glasses? Let me see how your glasses work. Oh, that's awesome. You are ready. What'd you just have for lunch? You have McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. All right, and we got Logan here. Logan is Josh's friend, freshman at Palm Harbor University High School. You got your glasses. You're ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, awesome. So again, Josh, remind everybody in Tampa, the eclipse is 81% in Tampa. It will never be totalities. You're always going to need your glasses. So just remind everybody.
Make sure you have your glasses on. You need them. If you don't have them, you're going to hurt your eyes. Don't freak out. It's no big deal. Like, if you see it go black, don't worry. Like, it's not going to be, it's just going to be a shadow. And it's not like you have to stay inside. Just don't stare at the sun like a normal
And what
day.
about people's pets?
Your pets are fine.
Exactly.
It's the same exact day.
Yeah, pets aren't going to look up at the eclipse. So again, here, you take it real quick. Let me remind people a couple things. Okay, so as we said earlier on, just remember the sun today is it is like every other day. So because of that, you know, a lot of people are saying if you even happen to glimpse at the sun, you're going to go blind. You don't want to stare at the sun. You do not want to stare at the sun. But at the same time, if you happen to be outside at a baseball game or whatever, and you happen to, or at the beach, and you happen to go up and see the sun for a quick second, it's not going to kill you. It's the same thing here. I'm not telling you to stare at the sun, but if you happen to look up, don't freak out that you think you're going to go blind in 6 or 7 days. Just wear your glasses if you have them. If you happen to glance at it, you'll be okay. But if you have your glasses, you'll be able to see what really is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Tampa, 81%. The next eclipse, which will be in 2024, it'll even be less than that. So this is your time, and if you're watching us in an area where there is totality, remember, this is something unlike you've ever seen before. About 2 or 3 seconds just before totality, you want to take your glasses off. You'll see the beads where the sunlight goes through the mountains and the crevices of the moon, and you've got that 2 to 2.5 minutes of pure totality. What happens? Everything gets dark, the stars come out. You might see Venus about 15-20 minutes before it actually hits totality or shortly thereafter. And in the same time, you'll also have an opportunity to see things that you've never seen before. The temperature drops, the birds, they go into their trees, they roost, they do whatever birds do, right? And the crickets start chirping. So this is something, I remember in 1979 when I was a kid, I had a chance not to see totality. But this is a lot of hype. This is one of the things where hype is valid. This is one of the coolest things you will ever see. So if you're watching us from Charleston through Columbia, all the way to Salem, Oregon, this is something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. So enjoy it and look at the spectacle of something unlike you're ever going to see again.
Rule number 7.
Exactly.
Don't freak out.
Do not freak out if you happen to see the sun. But where are you guys from, Josh? Where are you?
Raleigh.
You're from Raleigh, and you're here for the eclipse?
We are here for the eclipse.
Is that your tent over there, or are you guys just going to hang out?
I wish it was.
Yeah, okay.
We might go horn in on it.
Dang it. Well, thanks again. Have fun.
Bye.
So, guys, we'll be back closer to 2:30. Totality here in Columbia is at 2:41 and 54 seconds, right in that ballpark. So we will see you then, probably a little bit before then. Be safe and enjoy.
Everybody, I'm meteorologist Greg D. That was Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips. He was live in Columbia, South Carolina, out there with his family, where they are going to see totality. They will see the moon completely cover up the sun. That is one of the closer locations here to the Bay Area. You're looking at Madras, Oregon there now. That is the beginning of the eclipse. So they're in partial eclipse mode now. You're seeing the sun slowly cover up, the moon slowly cover up the sun. This is a NASA camera. There are several cameras that are live streaming. You're watching our broadcast of it here at abcactionnews.com. For the Bay Area, we will see the beginnings of this. The moon covering up the sun around 117. It really depends on where you are in the Bay Area. Up towards Citrus County, it's going to start closer to 114, 115. If you're down towards Highlands County, it's going to take a little bit longer. The Sebring area, about 121. It's going to take some time to get to the maximum coverage of the sun. That's going to take us to about 245 to 250, again, depending on where you are in the Bay Area. I'm keeping an eye on satellite pictures around the region for cloud cover. I'm also looking, this is something that will be new here, is we're going to be looking at the satellite pictures off the Pacific coast. As this total eclipse, the shadow of the moon, starts to affect the coast of Oregon, visible satellite picture, weather satellites will show darkening in the northwest portions of the United States. It will look as if a big dark hole blob is moving across the United States, and that's going to be visible in the Pacific Northwest first, maybe even over the northern Pacific before it even gets to the state of Oregon as that moves along. I'll be tweeting that information at Greg DeWeather on Twitter and Instagram, and also we're going to be going up to the roof of our building here, in the roof of our parking structure right next to Raymond James Stadium in downtown Tampa, and we are going to be watching it along with you live from that rooftop. It's been 99 years since the United States has seen a total solar eclipse go coast to coast. There was one in 1979 in the Pacific Northwest in the Mountain States. There you see a live image of Raymond James Stadium. Yeah, there are some clouds out there, but these are going to be very isolated fair weather clouds. They are on the move, so if one of those clouds just happens to be blocking your view of where you are, I would just wait. As of now, I do not see any showers and thunderstorms popping up there around the Bay Area. So right now we are clear when it comes to rain. Other parts of the southeast are getting some thunderstorms. North of us, there is a better chance of showers and storms if you're watching from places like Citrus and Hernando County. I'm already watching some pop-ups around you. There's rain around Orlando this afternoon, but so far all of that is staying away from the Bay Area. And it just happens to be today that luckily our rain chances for this afternoon are kind of below what we would expect. Usually they're about 40% today. They're only about 20%. So hopefully fewer of us will see those showers and storms. The countdown is on. You see it there. Now less than 20 minutes to the beginning of the eclipse. Again, the peak about 2:45, 2:50. So still an hour and 45 minutes or so until the maximum amount of sunshine is blocked out. But the beginnings of it, that sliver of the moon beginning to move over the sun, that's about 18 and a half minutes away now in the Bay Area. If you're out there watching the eclipse, maybe with your friends, your family, if you've got a location that you're at, hey, send us a picture of what's going on. Are there other people with you? Are there telescopes? Do you have your own homemade viewing device, or are you using some of those solar glasses that have been just so hard to come by? One of the monitors I'm looking at is the Mainsail Beach camera on Anna Maria, and it is gorgeous out there. Maybe you've chosen the beach to view the eclipse. That cannot be a better location. The clouds tend to be a little thinner, a little smaller near the coast. They tend to really form inland during the afternoon, so if you happen to be at the coast, that may actually be a pretty good place to go. Another look outside looks from an aircraft. NASA is going to be sending aircraft out during the eclipse. The idea here is to study the sun and the effects of the eclipse through a thinner chunk of the atmosphere. You get better detail. The other thing these aircraft can do, although they cannot keep up with the speed of the moon's shadow, they will be able to follow the shadow of the moon across the United States and stay in full eclipse conditions longer than someone that would just be stationary on Earth. So this is research that NASA is doing. They are in the process of sending several probes to our sun, and being able to study the sun's atmosphere without sending a probe right here from Earth is something that they are definitely looking forward to. That image right there on the screen, that's Phoenix, Arizona, another great place to watch the eclipse. The Grand Canyon, the state of Arizona, seeing not as much coverage as we are. They're a little farther south, but that's what they're seeing. They're in that partial eclipse mode now, as the moon continues to make its way across the sun. Notice it's not happening very quickly. That's why it's going to take so long, between 1:17 all the way out to 2:45, 2:50, before the Bay Area goes from just a sliver of the sun covered to over 80% by 2:50 in the afternoon in downtown Tampa. We'll be continuing our coverage upstairs here coming up in a few minutes. I'll also be setting up some live pictures. We'll be tweeting out weather information. We've also got our eye on the satellite picture, which of course so far is just showing some scattered clouds across the Bay Area. Multiple live views set up by NASA from across the United States, from Oregon. They've got cameras in Missouri. They've got cameras in the Grand Canyon area. There's cameras in Phoenix. There will be other cameras farther down. The largest city affected by the eclipse, by the total eclipse, is Nashville, Tennessee, where a lot of folks are gathering this afternoon to try to see that. There is a storm system in the central United States, so some folks are going to probably see some clouds for the afternoon, unfortunately. That'll be the central states up towards portions of Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, may see clouds from time to time, thicker clouds, more widespread clouds than what we're seeing here in the Bay Area. So we're about 15 minutes or so, maybe 16 minutes or so from the beginnings of our partial eclipse here. Remember, if you are headed outside, if you are planning on looking at the sun directly for an extended period of time, you do need eye protection. Otherwise, you can look at it indirectly through the pinhole method, which is outlined in the eclipse section at abcactionnews.com, or you can make your own viewer from a box, some aluminum foil, and a pinhole to look at it that way. You do not want to look at the sun with a pair of binoculars. You do not want to zoom in on the sun with a telephoto lens, a telescope, or any such magnifying device, as that increases the power of the sun and will do damage to your eyes, your corneas, or the actual equipment that you're using, such as your camera. Very, very dangerous to be doing that. So make sure that you are playing it safe as you get out there and view this. What is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event for many folks. There is going to be another total solar eclipse in the United States in 7 years, in 2024. That one's going to track from Texas north into the Great Lakes, passing directly over places like Dallas, Little Rock, Cleveland, Ohio, and back up into northern New England, Burlington, Vermont, just south of Montreal. And then the Bay Area, if you want to wait this long, about 28 years, we will see a total solar eclipse in Tampa in August in the year 2045. Just lucky enough that another coast-to-coast eclipse will happen in 28 years. That one's going to start a little farther south than this one, in Northern California, track across the Central Rockies, and then dive down into Florida, passing over Orlando, Tampa, and Miami late in August in 2045. About 13 minutes to go before we see that solar eclipse begin. I'm going to reposition myself on the roof of our parking deck where the rest of the show is going to happen. So I'll leave you with this countdown and the live images from Idaho and Oregon as we watch what is the first coast-to-coast total solar eclipse develop in the United States in 99 years.
All right, everyone, we're heading into a special report with ABC News as David Muir and the rest of the team will be covering the solar eclipse coast to coast. We're going to head up to the third floor on our roof here, and we will join you in just a few minutes.
Across the entire continental United States, and it won't happen again until 2045.
We have waited long enough, that's for sure. So get ready. It's coming, and you're about to see it all live right here on ABC. Again, the time right now, 1:04 Eastern. The first totality happens at 1:16, max totality from Oregon. So we'll take you there live. We've got so many questions. First, of course, the weather, the clouds. Where will we see it best? Where will it blow our minds today? Where will the clouds break our hearts? I see a few of the clouds here in Charleston, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed here. Let's bring in meteorologist Ginger Z. She's in Nashville, which, by the way, the entire city. It's the largest American city to fall right in the path of this total eclipse. And Ginger, you've been looking at the weather across that entire path, that ribbon across the country.
Oh, that I have, David. Such an important forecast, probably one of the most important of the century, truly. But what I wanted to start you out with, not only is Nashville one of the biggest, or the biggest city in the path of totality, I'd venture to say it's the biggest party. Look at this. We've got rooftops full here along Broadway, Lower Broad as the locals call it. You can see them all the way down the streets, all the way right here. Check out all my friends. This party on the rooftop at the iconic Tootsie's Bar is just beginning. Our partial eclipse only just began. And I got to tell you guys, we have a lot to talk about in the way of weather because it is a huge day. Let's start with what it looks like. In the Pacific Northwest, it is brilliant. They're already seeing a lot of that eclipse. I want to show you some of the cloud cover. looking good through the Rockies and Idaho there into Wyoming, but then it gets a little mucky. Once we get into Missouri and parts of Nebraska, you can see the storms blowing up, and then as we go back through the Tennessee Valley, we just have those daytime heating clouds. Scattered storms at the coast, where you are in Charleston, David, but I have to say, no matter what the cloud cover, the party, the celebration, the unity of America, and this beautiful celebration of science, the science that I have loved my whole life, I can't geek out more than I will today. David, let's head back to you.
Yeah. Really, no question. We needed this moment of unity in this country, and nature's wonder is giving it to us. I want to look at this picture that I'm seeing coming in live from Oregon. You can actually see the sun and the moon almost completely covering the sun now. And keep in mind, 116, of course, is that key moment when it'll be in total darkness there. The first hint of darkness falling, of course, on the shores of the Pacific coast. The totality of the eclipse, 116, 10:16 Pacific, minutes away. It's going to last 1 minute, 58 seconds, and then we're on the move from there right across the country. The shores lined with families at this hour. And meteorologist Rob Marciano back in a part of the country he spent years covering. He's in Lincoln City, Oregon. And Rob, you've got the glasses, you know, we all do here. And we just want to make sure that everyone knows that authorities really aren't joking about this one. They say wear eye protection, and they really mean it today.
Yeah, and really during the whole thing, David, I have these special glasses, the glasses they've been giving out really across the country. They look cheap, but they are mandatory viewing. They block out 99.9% of the solar rays, but you can see this eclipse in its entirety. So it's nothing short of spectacular. I gotta say, when you see even the partial eclipse across this country, you want to take it in. It is the Great American Eclipse. Hey, Suzanne, and Willie, where are you? Hey, there's another way to watch this if you don't have these glasses, and that is to make a pinhole projector. I found these guys in the parking lot, and you got, what, a shoebox, and then what else?
Shoebox, paper inside, tinfoil, and a pinhole.
And it works. And Willie, your mom was a physicist, obviously inspiring you to see this, your first eclipse total?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're pumped.
Yes, I'm pumped.
And they got the glasses and the box, so just, you know, just varieties of spice of life. Hey, go Ducks. Go Ducks. What do you got? You got the welder's glasses?
Yes.
All right, so that's serious business right there. Can we see how they look on you? Oh, yeah, they're styling. You are styling. Are you excited for the eclipse, sweetheart?
Yes.
All right, they're going to come fast and furious here. We are just a few minutes away, David, and the clouds that have been fickle here along the Oregon coastline. It's not the ideal spot. That's why we don't have a massive crowd like they do in the deserts, but we have seen enough of that partial eclipse to get fired up, and we are awaiting totality, and we're just seeing enough of a clearing to, I think, see it in just a few minutes, David. It is exciting. Is it not exciting, guys? Woo! 1776 was the last time we had a coast-to-coast eclipse totally, exclusively to Americans. How much more American can it get? This is the Great American Eclipse, baby. I hope you all take part of it. David?
Thank you, Rob. We're going to come right back to you in just a couple of minutes so you can show us what you're seeing. And I just want to say, you know, we've all got these glasses here, and you can see the setup here and all these bright lights. I put these on, and you see nothing. So when Rob says, you know, put the glasses on and test with the light on your iPhone, that's a really good indicator that, you know, these glasses are probably approved and you're in good shape. So here's the question. What's it going to be like? I thought we'd check in with someone who has experienced it before. Bill Nye, the science guy, you know him. He's the CEO of the Planetary Society, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Everything All at Once. He's at the Homestead National Monument in Beatrice, Nebraska. And Bill, no question in your mind this is going to change people today?
I hope so. It's already started here. We can see it if you have the special glasses. This is getting dimmer and dimmer as the moon comes across the disk of the sun. And just notice something that I got to say I didn't expect. Are you guys excited? A lot more people than I anticipated are excited and anticipating this event. In other words, you can feel the excitement building, even though we're just a few percent into the occlusion, into the eclipse. It's really thrilling to see so many people excited about this science.
I want to ask you what's actually going to happen when darkness falls, because a lot of people wonder about that temperature drop, anywhere from 10, 12 degrees, animals being confused, wildlife perhaps, and you'll be able to see, you know, a number of planets and stars up there. So a pretty significant change in that tiny window of darkness that we're going to witness here.
Well, it becomes night. So it's cooler at night than it is during the day. The birds and insects act as though it's night. And so what happened here in Beatrice, the clouds just cleared, and people are all putting on their special glasses and looking skyward because I guess the eclipse is really apparent for this moment. We would turn the camera up toward it, but oh yes, the moon is coming across from on a clock face would be about 1:30, 2 o'clock, moving from upper right to lower left as we perceive it here in Beatrice, Nebraska. And it's just an exciting thing, everybody. Just think about the diligence of astronomers who are able to predict this eclipse within less than a second. And here we are gathered to celebrate our understanding of what I like to call our place in space, our place in the cosmos. It's just an exciting thing that the clouds cleared at this moment.
You're absolutely right. A reminder of where our place is in the cosmos today. Bill Nye, stick around with us here. We're going to be talking to you as the afternoon progresses here. We want to go to Carbondale, Illinois, dubbed the capital of the eclipse because it's right in the area. This is really incredible, where totality is going to last the longest and where it will return in a few years from now. We'll talk about that in a bit. Dr. Lucianne Walkowicz, an astronomer at the Adler Planetarium in Chicago and the incoming chair of astrology at the Library of Congress. Dr. Walkowicz, first of all, I love this because you study this, you know more about this than any of us out here, but it's still your first eclipse?
It's my first eclipse. I've seen a couple partials, but I couldn't be more thrilled to be here today in the path of totality in Carbondale, what they're calling the crossroads of the Great American Eclipse. This is really a special thrill for me, especially after years and years of studying the kinds of things that we'll be able to see with our naked eye when the sun is in totality.
Dr. Walkowicz, we're going to be checking back in with you as the afternoon progresses. She mentioned Carbondale, by the way. It's going to be the longest max totality. That's about 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Some have said 2 minutes, 41. But that shows you how quickly this is going to move. One of the best places to experience the eclipse just maybe Madras, Oregon, billed itself as a solar town, hoping for the best eclipse watching weather in the country. They are pulling out all the stops for an expected crowd of 20,000. ABC's Matt Gutman is joining the party there, as he always does. Matt, the crowd is really enormous. I've seen the traffic jams for people all weekend long trying to get there.
20,000, David, just here in what's called Solarfest, but a spectator I spoke to had a different name for it. He said this is basically Woodstock for nerds. Now, you can see there are thousands of people arrayed here. There are tent cities in the background over there to the right. 5,000 tents over there, 4 people to a tent over there. There are campers. There are 100,000 people who have inundated this area. By the way, Madras population just under 6,000. So an amazing spectacle here right on this cow farm that has been converted into the world's prime viewing site. NASA is based here as well because this place should offer the most unobscured sight right into that eclipse. It's almost so near that I can look into the sun. The one hitch is that there have been wildfires in the area, and I think you may be able to see Mount Jefferson off in the distance. The top of it is obscured by that blanket of haze and smoke, but still, where I'm looking almost directly at the sun, it is pretty close. Everybody here has got their glasses. These folks drove 9 hours with a family of 7 in a van. You guys ready? They have their glasses on. And people celebrating all sorts of things. There's a guy who's going to pop up the question to his girlfriend. Shh, don't tell. There are people celebrating birthdays. Folks over there drove over from Boston, but you can sense the enthusiasm in the crowd. It's getting nearer and nearer. It's almost there, and you can already feel the temperature drop, David. Pretty amazing.
Well, I hope she says yes, and I'm glad she's there and not at home watching. Otherwise, you'd know it's coming. Anyway, let us know what she says there. And, Matt, we love seeing that sun shining brightly on your face. That means they're going to have a spectacular sight right there. They already have a spectacular sight in Oregon. So let's get back to meteorologist Rob Marciano. Again, Lincoln City, Oregon. Total solar eclipse will be the first visible in the United States. 1:16, about a minute, less than a minute away now, Rob. Tell us what you're seeing.
And it's getting dark, David. It is so spooky right now, right? The temperature is dropping. The excitement is growing here. I hope that we're going back and forth to the special camera that has this eclipse, and I've got to put my glasses on to witness this. We've just gone completely dark, at least by the way we see it here. Oh, no, still a sliver left. Is that the diamond ring? Would that be the diamond ring, perhaps? Just a sliver left. A little more. There it is. We have reached totality here on the Oregon coastline. Total eclipse of the
Just an incredible sight, Rob. We're looking at the corona of the sun, the atmosphere of the sun.
It is incredibly dark. It looks like night has fallen. The clouds certainly exacerbating that, but this is beyond twilight. It's a spooky, spooky experience. What do you have to say? What does it feel like right now?
We came from Los Angeles just to see this with my nephews. We drove all the way from Los Angeles.
What drove here from Los Angeles? That is commitment, baby. Welcome to the Oregon coastline. How's it feeling right now seeing your first eclipse?
It's amazing. I love it.
And we need the lights to see all this. We need the lights. I got to check it out one more time, David, because oh my, it is just absolutely spectacular. Look how dark it is, how quiet it is. The air is still. This is like being in the eye of a hurricane. It is spooky. It is spiritual.
I gotta tell you, Rob, America is watching this
surreal.
with you.
It's amazing.
And when you see the corona around the sun there, Rob, the atmosphere of the sun, talk us through the science of that. I mean, that's hotter than the sun itself. It's millions and millions of degrees Fahrenheit.
It's, you know, you're talking about, thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, but what we're seeing right now is the corona. The outer atmosphere of the sun, which we don't get to see any other time. This is why scientists are launching balloons. This is why they got their telescopes out. This is why they're so jazzed about this, because we're able to see things that we don't normally see, with the exception of the eclipse. Yeah, exactly. She said there's something coming out from it. It's almost like you can see some solar flares coming out. Bailey's beads is something we saw earlier. You know, the moon is not completely smooth, so we're seeing some of the outer edges of the sun come through those valleys and over those mountains, and that's why you see that kind of this star effect now. And different colors are happening right now. It's unbelievable. Oh, the diamond ring! We're starting to see it. We're starting to get out of totality now, David. That was our 2 minutes of ecstasy, quite honestly. Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is extraordinary. To let people know at home how we're pulling this off with our photographers. Yeah, Rob, I just want to let folks at home know how we're pulling off the technology of this. You know, the photographers operating these cameras have to slide in a lens, if you will, into the camera to shoot up. At the beginning of it and at the end, but during totality, they can actually pull that out. So that's why you're seeing some of the shifting shades there on your screen. But Rob, now we're seeing on the other side here what happens. It's almost the exact reverse. And you talked about those Bailey's beads shining down, coming through the valleys. That's named after Francis Bailey, who first figured out what that was.
Exactly. I mean, you know, so much of science, the terms and names that we rattle off are pioneers that discovered them, or were in some process out there making things happen. Now the sun's coming out. It's getting brighter. It's getting a little bit warmer. It's hard to describe what it's like. David, the rest of America is going to experience it now, fast and furiously. Back to you.
In fact, they are right now. Let's go to Madras, Oregon, where Matt Gutman is standing by. Remember, Matt was just under blazing sun a moment ago. Matt, talk us through it.
It's hard to. I'm almost speechless. The crowd here is absolutely ecstatic. I'm going to have our cameraman, Glenn, turn down the lights so you actually get a sense of how... Turn it off, Glenn. Let's see how dark it really is. It's pitch black here. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Right now, we're looking at the corona that's 1,000,000 degrees, so much hotter than the surface of the sun, just about 6,000 degrees. You can see it right there. You guys, I'm gonna come back to our folks here. I mean, you guys drove 9 hours. Did you expect
my God! Yes, so worth it!
You know, this is the second most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
Is that the first?
I was thinking this one here, you know, but...
That's a smart husband right there. Did you notice that? That is wisdom at work. I want to bring you over here to a friend of mine I met. Aria goes to... This is spectacular. Aria studies astrophysics at Pomona College. Aria! She drove here from Boston, David. Drove a car from Boston. That's 3,000 miles.
Is it what you
expected?
No, it's absolutely amazing. It's so dark out of here. It looks like a sunset over there. It's amazing.
And you can notice that the temperature has gone down substantially. There's so much less radiation here bouncing up and heating us up that it's actually chilly. Folks are in their sweatshirts,
We
David.
got sweaters because we knew it was going to drop something crazy over here. And so now we're warm and fine, right, Carmen? Yeah.
Hey, Carmen. Wow, this is a spectacular sight, David. This is something that so many people didn't expect to see. There are lights in the distance. There have been jets flying right by the corona. There are airplanes in the sky. That must be an incredible sight. Just beyond the teepees, you can see them. And this is lasting for 2 minutes and 4 seconds because we are right in the crosshairs of that totality. It is happening right here, and you can hear the cheers from the crowd as people watch that corona just radiate out. Now, it might have been clearer had we not had those forest fires nearby, but still, that is a pretty exceptional sight that so many people here didn't expect to see. We have folks with their telescopes out here. I'm going to try not to interrupt them. He doesn't want to be interrupted. What do you guys think?
This is pretty cool. It looks like it's nighttime. It's like a sunset, like all around. It's pretty close right now.
And what's astounding is that it continues. Now we're getting the diamond ring effect right now. The sun is slowly being taken out of the shadow as the light increases markedly. You can see it's like someone shining a spotlight on this field. There are thousands of people here. David, 100,000 people just in this part of Oregon outside of Madras, feasting their eyes on a spectacle that many of us will never get to see again. Back to you, David. This is a pretty remarkable sight
Just
here.
incredible. 10:22 Pacific time there. You're looking live at Madras, Oregon. That's Matt Gutman and the team. And let's go back to that shot if we could. We literally saw it go dark there for about 2 minutes time. That was their max totality. Now the sun has come back out. We are less than 10 minutes away from our next moment of max totality in this country. So we're going to take a break. The Great American Eclipse. Our coverage continues live right here on ABC right after the break. We'll be back.
Well, here we go. It's already started. So what time is it right now? About 1:24, Ashley. It started here at 1:17.
These are the moments we have been waiting for. We have been counting down to this for weeks, if not months.
Yes.
Some people we've been talking to around the Tampa Bay area have been counting down to this for years.
Yeah.
Planning for these moments for years.
Oh gosh, and what's super interesting is the second we walked upstairs, it was really, really sunny. And then as we stood out here, it got really, really cloudy. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that this cloud is going to move out of the way. It's going to get super hot, but we're going to be able to see history.
Meteorologist Greg D was explaining to me earlier as well that a couple of these, puffy clouds in the sky, they're on the move. So even if it gives us momentary, problems, they'll be out of the way. It's not going to ruin the event.
And what you're seeing on the right side of your screen there, of course, we're there to the left, but on the right side of your screen, that's Eric Bohr, our chief photographer. He's got the camera, special camera, so that we can see what's going on. You can kind of see how those clouds are going, but you can really tell it's happening now.
It is happening now. We have been building up our coverage on abcactionnews.com, on our free mobile app, for the last hour or so, and we kind of showed where it started in the country, in Oregon, where you just started to see the sliver, and it's kind of moving down that arc we've been showing you as far as what you can see and where, and it's starting here in the Tampa area.
And what's really been awesome is to see it go pitch black in those areas of totality. So in Oregon, some of those spots that we know that our Dennis Phillips is over in Columbia, South Carolina right now, and that's when it's going to get pitch black. We'll have about 81% coverage here. But can you imagine the middle of the day, you're standing outside, and it just goes dark, enough where you can see the stars?
Well, we're about to kind of imagine it. The live picture you're looking at right now, that is Tampa. That is, you know, if we put on our solar eclipse glasses and look up, that's what we're going to see right there. This is an even better view, I think, what you're looking at on your TV screen than looking up in the sky with those solar eclipse glasses. And here in the Tampa Bay area, we're going to see about 81% coverage. So, you know, imagine total darkness and then imagine about 80% darkness. That's what we'll see here.
What I'm enjoying right now, though, and I'm hoping that it stays this way, it looks like all the traffic's moving just fine. So hopefully everybody will do that, because Ashley has warned you, you talk to FHP.
Right.
This is not something you want to see while you're driving down the interstate.
I talked to FHP. I talked to a lot of people, too, who just drive around Tampa in the afternoons for whatever reason, maybe going to lunch, for work on a break, or they tend to run errands in the afternoon. And a surprising number of people said to me, they're staying off the roads today. They want to just avoid the potential for any problems. But like you said, looking behind us here on North Himes Avenue, right around Raymond James Stadium, everybody seems to be behaving.
And I'm looking, oh goodness, there's that cloud that I was talking about. This is not totality, people. This is a live picture that you're seeing here, but unfortunately this cloud has decided that it's going to try to, but hopefully, as Greg D has told us, it's moving on down. Hey, Greg D, come on down.
Come on over, Greg D.
It's Greg D. So that's, we need to bring Greg D in.
Come on in.
All right,
Come on.
so
We've had a little bit of cloud cover here, but as you explained to us earlier on ABCActionNews.com live, it's not going to ruin the event.
No, so this is just a temporary thing. You see a live view there of Titan Doppler radar and the satellite picture. It's black and white, so you can see the individual clouds, and they're just sort of speckled all over the state. This is very typical for a Florida afternoon. Today, actually, we're lucky. Rain chances lower than we would normally see them. So that means fewer thunderstorms, more opportunity to actually see the sun. Okay. This could be a lot worse. This is one of our cloudiest months, so this is good.
Can you explain to me, scale of 1 to 10, how excited you are to see see like this? Because we're excited,
it's the question everyone's asking Greg D today.
It's a 9.5 because I'm not in totality.
Oh, I got it. I get it.
It's 8 out of 10, 80%.
It's just amazing. I just looked at some of the satellite pictures that we normally use just to show you the weather every day. Yeah. And you look at the Northwest United States, it's the middle of the day, and it started getting darker at noon in Oregon. I mean, it's just incredible to actually watch the shadow of the moon. It's moving at about 1,800 miles per hour.
Wow, I can't even wrap my mind around
Just to give you a number here. So NASA's got some planes up there, and they're following it to try to stay in totality longer, to study the sun while this is happening, because it does give us a glimpse of the sun that we don't ever see.
Sure.
And that's the atmosphere around the sun.
I want to take a moment and tell people what they're looking at, you know, live with us here. This is Phoenix, and Phoenix is an area we've been watching since the beginning when we started our coverage right about noon, and it was just a teeny tiny sliver, Laura, that we saw of Phoenix, you know, at the onset. But I mean, look at that. We're getting down to the crescent there. I mean, it's really moving along.
But Greg, what's interesting to me is you talk about how fast this is happening. But yet Phoenix started about an hour ago. So the whole event takes a while to happen.
And that's because there are two shadows.
Oh, okay.
There is the larger shadow that the entire United States is covered by. That's the one that you see from Maine to LA. They're all going to see some coverage, and that's what you're seeing in Phoenix.
This is actually Madras, Oregon, we're looking at now, and you can see that's further along than Phoenix even. I mean, we just have a sliver there in Madras.
And Madras just had totality. They were under the second, the actual 75-mile wide shadow that sees total coverage. It's that one that's moving at 1,800 miles an hour across the United States.
Well, Greg, I wish this cloud would move a little bit faster.
Can we just take a moment here? We all have our solar eclipse glasses. Can we take a moment and put them on and look up?
Well, actually, I think mine are over there, so I'm gonna have to borrow. I'm gonna have to borrow yours.
Okay, go get your glasses. Come back.
It's happening, Greg D. It's happening.
Oh, this cloud.
Oh, and then the cloud happens.
And then the cloud. The live picture
you
just
see
saw
there
the
on the
live
right.
picture. That is Tampa. That is not Totality,
we just want
friends.
to add to the little bit of the suspense that we've been waiting for so long.
And it just so happens the exact moment we take out the glasses is when the cloud moves over.
So, but
that's okay.
And like Greg was talking about, though, 4:14, I believe, is when it's going to be completely over here in Tampa Bay, right?
Correct. It moves out into the Atlantic Ocean at that point. But you guys can see just looking around here. I mean, you can look. There it is. Here it is.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
Take our chance.
Ooh,
That's super awesome, though.
It looks like somebody took a little bite out of the moon, doesn't it? Like a little mouse got up there and took a little piece of that cheese.
Well, and now I see why people, you know, when we've done all these stories and we looked on them in the ISO, and it's got to have this specification so that you can look at these. But I was reading it's 100,000 times more blocking out of the light on these than it is with regular sunglasses.
Right.
So that's interesting.
And the eye doctors keep stressing, you can't put on your normal sunglasses and expect your eyes to be protected.
And even on the glasses that we have here, it says limit to 3 minutes of continuous use. So even with this, they want you to just kind of slow down, take a peek, and take a break.
Well, I'm having a hard time being out here with just no sunglasses on at all. You know, it is bright out here, friends.
So can you explain a little bit, though, Greg, about that path of totality? Why is it so precise and just 70 miles within that line and everywhere you go in the country? That's incredible.
It is incredible. It's the alignment of the moon and this. It just happens to be that even though the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, it is 400 times farther away from the Earth.
Yeah.
And that is causing this, was that my phone ringing? I think it is.
Is
Somebody
it,
just wanted
is
it.
it NASA?
How's someone going to call a meteorologist?
Is it NASA calling?
During the eclipse. He's busy.
So it's just that alignment that focuses the shadow so very far. And because the moon is so far away from the Earth's surface, that shadow gets smaller and smaller as you get farther away. So that by the time it gets to the Earth's surface, it's just 75 miles across. The sun's light is able to get around the sun partially, and that's what causes that effect.
So, of course, solar, lunar, we know the difference in the two, but why does one happen a lot more often than the other?
That's because the Earth's shadow is huge.
Okay.
And the moon is much smaller. So the moon is able to completely hide behind the Earth, basically, is what happens, to disappear during a lunar eclipse. And everyone on that side of the Earth is able to see that. For this, because the moon is so much smaller and it's blocking such a small, tiny little piece of the sky, you really have to be in the right place at the right time. So this alignment actually happens about every 18 months somewhere on Earth. The problem is, it's only visible from 0.5% of the Earth's surface.
That's crazy.
But this time,
it is literally a needle in a haystack, and we're the needle, and we're in the right place in the haystack to see this.
we are in the right haystack. And it's been nearly 100 years since it's been seen east to west coast.
And there it is.
Like
so
this.
are we looking at Tampa right now, or is this
Phoenix probably?
Maybe back at Phoenix? Is it coming across there? We're waiting to get some information from inside, because that couldn't. This is Phoenix.
This is Phoenix. And again, this is a picture we've been watching Phoenix since, you know, the jump when we started our live coverage, and you just see it moving and moving and moving. Friend, Greg T, I'm going to pass you the mic for a minute. I need to put on some sunscreen.
Okay,
wow, it is
Ashley,
right
please
on.
do that.
Did you not?
Please
Okay,
do that.
okay, that was my number one reminder today, this morning, is put on
You
sunscreen.
got to put on your sunscreen. I'm going to move this. We've got a bunch of Facebook Lives going on here. We want people to be able to see Greg D there.
I've got SPF 70 on my face right
70,
now.
he says.
Just because it takes so long, you're going to be exposed, yes, to maybe a smaller portion of the sun, but for 3 hours.
So, okay, so my next question to you, though, is, Greg, so it started happening at 9:05 Pacific time over on the left coast.
Right.
So that was, of course, 12 o'clock here local time. It's just incredible. I think that we should put together some kind of video where you can see what it looked like in Oregon, what it looked like in the middle of the state, what it looked like here, what it looked like there. Because you just saw the people just in awe.
And they cheer. You hear cheering very often is the reaction, right? There's this moment where you see the sun's light, then there's just a little bead of it left. It's called the diamond ring. And suddenly it's as if, and up to that point, it still kind of looks like dusk.
Right.
And as soon as the moon covers up that very last sliver of the sun, it's as if somebody just flips a light switch. And the whole atmosphere just changes. You're under that darkest portion of the moon. things feel different. The temperature drops. Birds may react, animals may react. Flowers that open up during the day, they may close up during that time. So I think it's just a surreal moment, especially that your body knows, and you know, hey, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's still daytime.
Yeah, but it's basically pitch black.
So and this is not a phenomenon that's only going to happen in the United States, because once it leaves the East Coast, then it continues to make its way, correct?
So it's on its move southeast at that point. It's going to get off of the coast of South Carolina and head down into the Caribbean. So portions of the Caribbean will see it closer to their sunset.
So I have to bring up the fact that there was actually, oh wait, we've actually got one of our reporters out. Sarah Hollenbeck is out. Sarah, can you tell us where you are and what you're doing?
A couple of them with their glasses on, watching this. Of course, we're waiting for it to really get eclipsed even more. But you can see what's cool about this crowd is there are people of all ages. We've got younger people, older people, all kind of getting together to watch this eclipse. So quite a few people out here. Now, they had about 800 these glasses, and they had so many people lined up to get these glasses that they actually just ran out. So now they're asking people to start sharing these glasses. Luckily, lots of nice people out here who are doing that. But yeah, definitely a huge line of people wanting to see this eclipse and hoping for those glasses. So this is the telescope that they've got set up here at St. Pete College, and you can see right now that is looking up at the sun, and then it's being broadcast here on this monitor for people to see. You can kind of see it there. So you've got quite a big crowd of people just watching it, and all these little kids. Some of them took off school today to be able to come out here and really enjoy this. What do you think about what you're seeing?
It's great. It's getting covered up now. It's getting covered up. Oh, I think this is amazing. It's amazing. Oh, it's gone.
Pretty cool, though, right?
Very cool.
Are you glad that you came out here to watch it with a big group of people?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
What makes it a different atmosphere with all these people
out here? It's amazing. Waiting for it to come out again.
Yeah, quite a few people out here really enjoying it. What do you think about what you've seen so far?
Amazing, amazing. But you cannot watch it only with this. So,
You want to take a peek at it for me? Show people that you're looking at it for me?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, this is cool.
Pretty cool.
Where's it from?
ABC Action News.
Oh, ABC?
Yeah.
Action News?
ABC Action News.
Yeah,
Yep,
might
you
be on
got it.
TV?
Yeah. We're on Facebook Live right now.
Hello, America.
Yeah, there's a really big crowd here of people. What's really cool is these people actually ended up coming out here pretty early today to make sure that they got their glasses, and of course we did have them run out, but lots of people sharing these glasses, very prized possession here today. I'll show you again this crowd of people. So we've kind of had a lot of people coming and going. They stop in for the eclipse, then they take off, maybe go back to class, get back to their house, but we've seen people coming and going all day, and this is actually the Gibbs campus in St. Pete.
Out in the field, and you can hear some people saying, this is super cool. It's just so crazy. You know, if you see like one of those sci-fi movies like Men in Black or something like that, and everybody's looking to the sky because the aliens are coming,
but
that's
this is
what
real
this looks
life.
like.
Yeah, Sarah's at St. Pete College with a group there having a watch party, and it's much like what we've been seeing all over the country, right?
Yeah.
We've been dipping into these live pictures, you know, from the West Coast and all over the place, and people are gathered on lawns. They're, you know, at colleges having a watch party. They're on their front yards. They're camping, and it's just really neat to see so many people celebrating this and together and hanging out.
And what you're seeing right now to the right of us is Madras, Oregon. So they were the first city to start seeing this happen around 9:05 their time. So it was 12:05 here. And that was super cool to kind of watch them be the first ones to get to see what we were about to see.
Sure, and for so many people watching from the Tampa Bay area too, again, it started here in Tampa, but the peak time is right around 2:48, 2:49 maybe. And as Greg D's been explaining to us, the darkness we're going to see is about 81%, and it lasts for just a couple of minutes. even if some clouds happen to get in the way, it's not going to ruin the event for you,
well,
you know.
And there's so many myths that are going around. Like, this is what's going to happen.
Let's bust a couple of them.
You know, so one of my favorites was, if you make food or prepare food during this event, then your food is going to be poisoned. That is not true.
Which I hadn't even heard the myth, so that is just odd to me. As we're talking about these myths too, I want you to know what you're seeing here on your screen. That's a live look at Tampa. So we were just kind of gazing up with our solar eclipse glasses, and this.
Adrian Banker. She's in Casper, Wyoming. And Adrian, you know, the incredible thing about Wyoming is all across that vast state, you know, in Glendale, Wyoming, a 200-person town has been turned into a town of thousands. There's like 20,000 people on just one of the airstrips there.
You know what, David? It's amazing. The population here in Casper of 59,000. They anticipate 50,000 additional people. People from all walks of life. We've got people from, let's see, Michigan, Denver. I'm going to try to keep my glasses on here, but people from just down the street and as far as New Jersey. They're enjoying the excitement. If you actually look up there, you can see people with their telescopes getting that high perspective, but the sky has darkened. The temperature's dropped about 6 degrees, and we know that people have come from far and wide from across 6 continents. This area right here is called David Street Station. It's actually brand new. They built it so that people here could enjoy the eclipse. It wasn't here days ago. So a lot of people excited, and the sky's getting darker and darker. And I gotta tell you, you can feel the energy. It's palpable. David?
We can feel it. We can see it right along with you, Adrian. Totality's at 1:43, so we've got 30 seconds left before we see it go pitch black there in Casper. I'm joined by a former astronaut, Mike Massimino, who was with me earlier here this morning. It is happening. You're absolutely right, Adrian. You can hear the crowd going wild. Mike, this is just an extraordinary thing to witness here on Earth.
Yeah. We are all geeked out about it. Everybody's energized. This is what they came for. It's like dusk. It's like twilight.
Just an extraordinary moment to share with you, Adrian, and all of those people there in Wyoming. And Wyoming is such a stunning state to begin with. As we watch this happen in Casper, you know, it's 2 minutes now to the end of Totality there. Look at that. What a stunning sight. And again, what I was saying earlier is our photographers are actually changing the lenses out so that they're able to show you that. It is really for their own safety, because they're the ones looking through the viewfinder on their cameras to look up and capture that moment for you. But Wyoming, just think about the vastness of that state. You've got Yellowstone National Park, which is north of the path of Totality. So you're not really seeing anything there, but the Grand Teton National Park, anyone who's there, depending on where you are in that park, you're seeing.
And welcome back, everyone. Let's go. The solar eclipse is happening.
Oh, now see, that's cool.
Laura's gazing up. Okay, hold on.
Because what we've been, if you guys have been with us the whole time, you know, when Ashley and I first walked out here, we were okay. And then this giant cloud comes by and I said, you better not ruin this for us. We've been waiting for a while. Some people waiting for decades to see something like this.
I must say, though, you know, looking up right here with the solar eclipse glasses, you're having just as good of a view, if not better.
How awesome is
right
that?
Here, live with ABC Action News, because that is a really clear picture right there. Look at this one, Laura. This is Wyoming.
Oh my goodness.
That's an incredible view right there. This is Wyoming you're looking at, folks.
And this is, you know, this is part of what NASA was saying that they were going to do all day long, was show us these incredible pictures from space We're going to get that incredible picture back. Oh, now it's back to us. And we have an incredible picture, too, just like NASA.
Yeah, we do. It's really neat that we're able to bring this view to people. So we heard from so many people that didn't get the glasses, that were very concerned that they didn't have the solar eclipse glasses.
But, Greg D., don't you have something that somebody could make really quickly right now in the event they don't have any glasses?
Greg D has become infamous with his box of cereal running around here. Here he goes.
It's actually working. Okay, so I don't mean to turn my back on everybody.
He has to make sure it's working.
He doesn't want to give you any false info.
That's pretty good. You can actually see the clouds in there, which is really, really cool. So this is like
you take that.
This is not going to be the equivalent of using glasses, right? It's just kind of like your.
But it's a plan B.
It's a solid plan B. I like that. It's a box. It could be a cereal box, UPS, FedEx box. It could be an Amazon box. Basically, 2 holes in the top. One of them is covered by aluminum foil with just tape it down, and then 2 or 3 millimeter nail hole is all you're going to poke into that box. And when you turn your back to the sun, you want the sun to shine directly into that little pinhole. It'll project an image of the sun on the bottom of the box. And not only is the sun there, but I can see clouds. It's kind of it's an optical effect when these little holes can be turned into a camera and actually projects an image at the bottom of the box.
Test this. Okay. I did a little test of something like this earlier, but the image is small.
Very small. Okay.
Very
no,
small.
Laura. So you need to turn around. Okay. So watch. Okay.
Okay, I turn around.
Actually, you have to double fist the mics. All right. Here we go. All right. So the sun needs to be at your back. So you're going to be. It's actually lined up.
Oh, right there. Right.
It's going to be better once the eclipse gets going a little farther. Right.
But right now, the #1 song on iTunes is Total Eclipse of the Heart. And I would gather that song should be on the playlist at the wedding that Sarah Haynes is at. Sarah's talking to the bride right now. So I want to tell Sarah that we're listening. I don't want them to get caught on national TV not knowing.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Sarah, can you hear us?
Hey, Beauty and the Beast song.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, David is here now, so we want to hear a little more from you guys. Yes. What are you feeling?
Excited.
Stoked.
Yeah.
Unbelievably stoked.
It's
fantastic.
It goes by so quick, but I mean, even with the rain, I couldn't be happier right now.
Well, I was telling everyone earlier how you appreciated the science of even the weather, but you said if the weather's not going to be good, it better go big. And I heard a little thunder.
I did. I love thunderstorms.
Here it comes.
And you know what? It's going to get dark anyway, and we're going to feel the eclipse even if we can't see it. I'm happy.
And isn't the most important thing, by the way, before you came out, we did see parts of the eclipse. We were able to step out, so all your guests, the way you intended, we could see the moon cutting in. The sun looked a little like Pac-Man. So we saw it. And the big important thing is, as you guys do this, that it's happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and this is the whole thing here. The rain, obviously, we didn't anticipate, but thunder for it to storm a little bit.
That's my second choice.
Right.
Okay, this weather was worse on my wedding, and someone told me it's love colliding in the skies. Let's go with that.
Let's go with it. I love that.
Heard that's good luck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the party continues here, but we're going to send it back to you, David.
I love that, Sarah. Wish them well for us. And listen, they know in their one location right there in Joseph, Missouri, that the Earth, the moon, the sun, and 2 hearts aligned today, so they ought to be proud of that. She worked really hard, that bride, to make that happen. Next, our cross-country chase takes us to Alliance, Nebraska. And you know Carhenge, you've heard of this, America's answer to Stonehenge, about as close as you can get to the original thing, put together by a family. It all started with a family reunion back in the late 80s, but they're about to see this totality, max totality, in 24 seconds. Let's get right to ABC's Nick Watt. Nick, what are you seeing or not seeing?
David, it is about to happen for over an hour. It's been getting darker and darker and darker. It is about to happen here at Carhenge. By the way, that family reunion where they built this thing, I've spoken to the family. They've admitted they were a little bit drunk when they did it. And here we have it. It's happened. It's happened. And there have been clouds streaming across the sky all morning. Luckily, They are not here right now. We've got so many people have traveled here from, you know, this place is more than 200 miles from the nearest airport. Not a hotel room to be found. We camped in an RV with 1,000 or so other people, and it has just happened here. There is not a cloud over. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I may be speechless.
Just an extraordinary sight,
Holy
Nick. We're
moly.
watching right along with you, and that's what they call Carhenge, as I was mentioning. And Nick, you mentioned that they said they might have been a little inebriated when they put that together back in '87. But I love it. 38 cars rescued from nearby farms, from the dumps. They painted them all gray. But right now, you can't see the color. You can just see the outline of them under that extraordinary moment there.
And, you know, they built Carhenge. They had no idea it was going to be slap bang in the middle of total eclipse. And by the way, all of those cars, David, they're all American cars, perfect for our great American eclipse. And
I love that.
I've never seen anything like this.
Hey, listen, I heard there wasn't.
You can.
I heard there wasn't. I heard there wasn't a hotel room for over 150 miles where you are, Nick. You staying in one of those cars?
Listen, David, the nearest RV we could find was in Oklahoma City. So we had to drive that up from there. There is not a hotel room to be found anywhere. Not a hotel room anywhere. And, you know, a real cross-section of people here. A lot of people from the local area. A lot of people setting up crystals in the middle of Carhenge. A lot of the kind of hippie types, the new age types. We've got the bikers doing the security here. Just a really delicious, lovely atmosphere. People just getting into it. People having a great time seeing something that most of us have never seen before and most of us will never see again. And the weather played its part. No clouds. So happy. So happy I could cry. Okay, and it's going to last here for
Nick.
2.5 minutes, which is
so
one of the
dark there
longer
that-
places.
You can get away with crying. Nobody will see it. It's almost pitch black. 9 seconds to the end of Totality there for you. Carhenge, he's right in the middle of those endless miles of prairie in
David.
Nebraska.
Okay, David, we're done here. The sun is coming back. It's being regurgitated. Oh, and there's a star in the sky that we can see. Oh, beautiful. Oh.
Well, Nick, will you say hello to the folks there at Carhenge in Nebraska for us? One of the most incredible things about this whole event playing out here in America, the first, total solar eclipse in 99 years, traveling from coast to coast across this country. It's also allowing us to see these amazing places. Carhenge right there in Alliance, Nebraska, the invention of a family during a family reunion, and now look, even Nick said he had to travel with an RV from Oklahoma City to make that happen in front of his eyes. When we come back, the shadow of the moon passing through Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Nebraska. There's still a long way to go. And as we go to break with our coverage of the Great American Eclipse, a look at some of the images that you've now sent to us. As I said at the top of the broadcast, go to abcnews.com. We'll tell you how to do it. Send your pictures, your videos. We want to experience this with you and with all of the incredible moments you've been able to capture as well. We'll be right back in a moment.
Woo! We're under the shade now.
Welcome back, everyone. We've changed things up a little bit because it's really hot outside.
If people on our Facebook Live were writing, isn't it hot out there? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I have 50 sunscreen on and I was still burning.
But
so
this is super
thank you
cool
for
to
this
watch.
tent. This is really great. We've had a little bit of clouds moving in and out in the Tampa Bay area, but nothing that is putting too much of a damper on this. We are able to see when we put on the glasses and look up at the sky exactly what's happening.
Yes, that's for sure. Now we've got meteorologist Greg D with us from the mornings. He's been so kind to come and and hang out and tell us what you see.
That's because he's excited an 8 out of 10 for this because it's 80% coverage, right?
Yeah, right. If it was total coverage, I would definitely be like a 10 out of a 12 out of 10 if there was such a rating.
Is that possible to ever happen here in Tampa Bay?
It will. Actually, we're on schedule for one.
When is the schedule, though?
Okay, so these eclipses kind of happen in bunches. The next one in the United States total is 2024, so 7 years.
Okay.
That one's going to go Texas to Ohio to northern New England. It's going to go south to north. Then, after that, 28 years from now.
Oh.
Stay put, everybody. Good time
How old will I be then?
I don't know about you, but I'll be about 40.
Yeah, I'll be.
That's a fact.
I'll be hitting that retirement age around there. But there will be another coast to coast. That one's going to start a little farther south than this one, Northern California. Okay. It's going to cut across Salt Lake City, Denver, then come a little bit down towards Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Arkansas, and then make a dive south to the Florida Panhandle, and it's going to be Tallahassee, Tampa, Orlando, Miami. Right in our backyard, late August 2045. We're already going to have meetings about this next week to start planning for it.
I was just going to say, can you hear it in Greg D's voice that he's already excited for this?
I will not be in attendance for those meetings for 48 years from now.
This live map you're looking at here, we're showing you the line, the sort of arc of where the best views are, where they get the dark view.
So here's something interesting I noticed right there, right off the bat on that map, is that the totality in Charleston is 2:49. That's the same time that we're experiencing our peak. So basically, after Tampa's peak, the total shadow will exit the United States. So we will be looking at it during its last stay over the United States as it moves out into the Atlantic Ocean.
So we're like the big finale.
We are. We're letting everyone kind of experience it, kind of warm it up for us.
Yeah.
And then we're getting like the best show.
Once all the bugs have been worked out,
yeah,
Tampa is ready.
You know, and actually, speaking of bugs,
where are you going to go? Please, where are we?
You know, this is preciseness, right? You have to be very precise with this. Up until earlier this year, there was some adjusting to the track of totality. There was actually some discussion about how much of southern Illinois is going to see of this. And the track was shifted a little bit. They did some number crunching, and it got shifted a little farther south, a little more into Kentucky. So depending on when you check the maps, you may have booked a hotel in the wrong town.
But did I miss something? Where did the bug come in?
Well,
the issue, the bug that they were having.
Our data is,
a glitch.
The glitch, right? No. Well,
I thought you were talking about like spider hybrid. Wow.
Well, Laura, the bugs in Florida are so big they actually affect the eclipse. You actually had to adjust the timing.
We should probably get some bug spray then.
Okay, I want to let everybody know our Lauren Rosella is getting set. We're going to go to her live pretty soon. She's in Andrews, North Carolina, so we're going to go to her momentarily. Well, we're looking at the view right here in Tampa.
Oh, it's making me angry.
There we go. It will pass. But Greg, as we're watching this view out of Tampa, what's Lauren's tell us about her lay of the land? Again, she's in Andrews, North Carolina.
So she's more into it. She's upstream from where we are. And from her point of view, whereas at our point of view, the moon is going to kind of slice across the upper portion of the sun. There's going to be a little sliver that'll remain. Where she's standing, the moon it's like a bullseye. It's headed right for the center of the sun. It's directly heading right towards the middle of the sun. So she's going to see that totality there. Whereas for us, if you look at it, it's a little off center.
Yeah.
You know, you can kind of see that, how there's a little bit more sun on the bottom than there is at the top. It's kind of hitting it.
I would have never noticed had you not pointed it out, but now you do.
We're looking at it from the side, so it's a little bit off, and we're never going to see that totality. But where she is, the difference in her image is that moon is directly lined up right at the center of the sun.
I see.
But it's just truly incredible. The picture that you're seeing there to the right of your screen, that live picture is from our roof just about 2 feet away from us, and they're looking straight up, and that's what it looks like in Tampa Bay right now. Hoping that everyone is where they're supposed to be. Nobody's traveling right now, because you want to be able to experience it, but we really want people to be safe while they experience it.
I mean, you know, if I was just thinking about this, could you imagine if I had planned a vacation at this time, and maybe I was on an airplane at this time, flying in some...
It's funny you should mention that.
I would be very upset about this.
So,
speaking of...
Yeah, Tampa International has actually asked people to take pictures and then tweet them to them so that they can see what people have been seeing from the airplanes. And we've got a reporter from the Now who's on a flight from the West Coast, I like to call it from the left coast to the right coast, and they're going to show us what they saw traveling
Very
that
cool.
line. That's super cool.
And there's been cases last year. There was a flight out of Alaska to Hawaii that actually diverted to make sure that the plane flies into the path of a total eclipse.
Wow. Guys, we're going to go to Lauren now. I told you we were waiting for her live shot to kind of get set, and our Lauren Rosella is live in Andrews, North Carolina. Let's see what she's seeing.
Unfortunately, I think Lauren just froze, but it's okay. We're going to get back to her. Hey, listen, this moon is doing a lot to people.
Well, and you got to figure where she's at, right?
She's got bugs.
Everyone's on cell phones.
Yeah.
Everyone is live, Facebook living, they're periscoping, they're on Instagram. There's only so much the networks are going to be able to handle.
The best part is I've got 21 messages on my cell phone right now, people asking me, what are you doing?
You know.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
And why are you not doing what we're doing?
Is there someone out there who just like missed this whole event?
Well, there have to be.
Are there 21 people? Do you know 21 people?
No, some of these are repeat offenders. They're like, hey, I need to. Hey, some people are in the building right now. Hey, if you're in ABC Action News right now, come on up to the roof. We'll hang out with you. They're asking us, do we have glasses?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have them. There are some glasses up here right now.
We made sure early on we had the glasses.
Yeah. Oh, no, not the public, just people in the building.
The people in this building right now.
I mean, they can come.
Who's texting me.
You just won't get through the fence. You're welcome to,
Greg, you told me these clouds were going to go away, though.
But look, isn't this funny? I mean, this is just our ABC Action News luck. Look around us. I mean, it's clear over there. Right. There's lots of breaks. There's one cloud overhead right now, and this is the game we're going to play all day. Is these clouds.
Guys, I just got an update on our Lauren Rosella. We're not going to be able to get her live. The bugs are just too powerful where Lauren Rosella is in North Carolina. But I do know she's been tweeting a lot. She's been tweeting since the moment she arrived in North Carolina. So if you follow her on Twitter, find Lauren Rosella, you'll kind of see her views that way. So you can have your phone going with your Twitter. You have your ABC Action News live on your laptop. You maybe you're outside doing all of this. So you can put on your solar eclipse glasses and look up too, and then you just have all the views.
And Greg, is this kind of the coolest thing that could happen when it comes to the skies and meteorologists and that kind of thing? Is it just this is it for you guys?
I think this is it. I think a total solar eclipse is it's the pinnacle of all the celestial happenings because it is so rare. Yet at the same time, it brings together so many people in a positive way.
Sure.
Lots of things happen in the sky that scare people. We've got to warn you about, right? You hear Dennis Phillips' 7 rules, and 3 of them are don't panic. Don't panic. There's no panic here, right? It's just cool. Right. It's neat. It's different. It's something that you don't see very often, and it's just a fun day. I love how a lot of schools let kids out with an excused absence today. I think that's really important to let them experience that because. Sure. They may not be in an area, in 7 or 28 years to see this again.
Is there anything you all have been experiencing so far today that was unexpected? I mean, we've been talking about what you would see when you put on the solar eclipse glasses and looked up, but I mean, I guess is this what you expected so far, anyway?
I think that's a great question because I mean, like what I'm seeing right now is well, aside of this cloud, but what we've seen has been super cool. It's amazing. It's something I've never seen before.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an energy about the day, just people talking about it. I think in the last few days we've really seen the talk about it ramp up very quickly.
And I don't want to cut you off, Greg, but we're going to take a quick break. Okay. We're going to leave you with Madras, Oregon for just a moment. We'll be right back.
everybody, we're back. We're back here from the ABC Action News rooftop. We have these great live views you're seeing on your screen right now of what it looks like in Tampa as this eclipse is underway. And actually, we're getting pretty close to like the big moment of darkness.
I'll be back. Let's have a picture.
Greg has some bugs to work out.
Like, don't leave us, Greg. You're
He'll
the man.
be back. But look at that view, Laura. I mean, we just keep seeing it kind of creep along.
And I'm trying to figure out where my glasses went, so I'm not going to safely look up there. But I just think it's super awesome, this contraption that Chief Meteorologist Eric Moore has hooked up, Ashley, so that we're able to get this picture that we're getting to the right of your screen there, because that's Tampa.
Right. And you know what else is pretty amazing is that Eric Moore kind of made all this happen today, and it's beautiful.
It's super awesome.
Because when you're dealing with something like pointing a camera directly at the sun, you gotta
just like your eyes.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
This is really the best view. It's better than when I put on the solar eclipse glasses and look up.
Nice. Our boss is over here, and he's like, "Hey, look! It looks like Pac-Man. You know what else it looks like? The Chiquita banana." Yummy. So this is just super cool. I like what Ashley and Greg were talking about earlier, though, with so many sad and bad things happening in this world. This is one thing where you're looking all over social media and you see everybody's just talking about one thing. And it's super cool.
And they're gathered to kind of experience it together. There are a few things that bring people together, you know.
Who would have known?
All positivity. And this is one of them today, the solar eclipse.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been really cool so far. Greg is feverishly
tweeting,
I think,
and texting.
He's either tweeting or looking up a fact or Instagramming.
I'm tweeting a photo that I just took of the eclipse through my glasses. So if you've got some of these glasses, don't be afraid to just plop them on the back of your phone, snap a picture. I mean, you'll get some decent shots.
Yeah. And we have a hashtag.
Oh, we do have a hashtag. It's a hashtag Eclipse Action. Eclipse Action.
And we want to see the pictures, not just that you take of the sun, but of your watch parties or what you're doing, how you're experiencing
your
this.
Animals.
Maybe if you're eating a moon pie, we want to see it.
Ooh.
Or share. Let me give you this information. I've never had a moon pie, ever.
I haven't either, but I know what they are.
Look at his face.
Yeah. Can you describe the
What is it? Is it like marshmallow or something on that side?
Is it just marshmallow?
It's like a marshmallow covered in chocolate, right?
I would get it on the Google machine, but...
Okay, listen. First of all, let me get situated.
This is going to be a stern talking to.
It's a little bit of American's heaven. I mean, it's sweetness. So it's individually wrapped, right? Okay. On the outside, a nice thin layer of dark chocolate. It's kind of got a little crunch to it. You got to have it a little cool.
The details.
You break in through that chocolate, Laura, a nice soft cookie. You go a little further, and as you're biting down, the marshmallow just kind of oozes out. It's soft. Oh.
I suspect Greg D will have a moon pie in our hot little hands within a day, within 24 hours.
Where are we?
We just had a moon pie.
Meanwhile, let's go back to the sun.
We had a moon pie moment.
So what time is it? So it's 2:10.
Hey, we're about 40 minutes away
right now. So 40 minutes away from exactly what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Is it going to be super, super dark, Greg?
No. Now, I mean, you're 19% of the sun doesn't seem like a lot, but it's still going to be relatively bright. I would watch things like shadows. Yeah. And watch them kind of lengthen a little bit. You may notice it get a little bit darker. It just depends on I've never experienced anything this far. I've experienced about 60% coverage.
Oh, that's awesome.
It got a little bit darker. 80% should be a little bit more. You will notice it, but it's not going to be to the point where you're going to have to turn on your headlights, I don't think, to that point. We'll watch.
Well, so FHP had told, we spoke to them, their advice was do turn on your headlights during those couple minutes of peak darkness in the Tampa area. I'm curious to see what the colors will or will not do in the sky. Will we see any color variation, much like you would see with the sunrise, or is this just going to go dark to light? I don't know.
I think you could. I definitely, watching previous satellite pictures of it, there will be darkening over Florida, so you may see darker blues, maybe some bluish grays kind of colors on the horizon, especially if you look toward the direction of Totality, which from Tampa is going to be northeast.
Okay.
So looking northeast, you're going to be looking towards that darker shadow. You may see some of that.
Okay. What's also cool is we've got Tim Jones, one of our awesome photographers. He has set up a GoPro on the building, and he's recording. He's going to try to record about 2 hours of this whole thing.
Right.
And then speed up that video. And the shadows that Greg was just talking about, you're really going to be able to see a lot of that in this video, in this time lapse.
He was thinking maybe he would capture some of the shadows of like the buildings.
That's gonna be cool. Especially seeing Ray J.
Right. We're right near Raymond James Stadium, so to kind of see the shadow of Raymond James Stadium moving.
That's Phoenix. It just hit Totality.
Wow. Let's just take that in for a moment.
Can you imagine?
That's got to be farther north than okay, it's about to end. That's the diamond ring right there. That's Bailey's beads at the very lower right corner, and that's the diamond ring effect as the moon now exits from the sun.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a chill. I'm not.
That's
beautiful. Crazy.
And we caught it just at the right time there, where we saw that total, coverage for just a moment.
And if you were to be there in person, what you would see is, what you're really looking at is the sun's atmosphere. And it looks wispy, like thin little golden hairs coming off the sun. That is plasma. It's a hot, almost a liquid-like thing that the sun ejects. Think of the sun as a bomb that is continuously exploding. That's what it is.
Wow.
It is burning hydrogen at huge numbers per second. And like a bomb, it is sending out that energy.
Sure.
And when you block it out, you can actually see that flowing off the sun. And what's interesting is it's that atmosphere around the sun is actually hotter than the sun itself. And that's one of the things, the surface of the sun. And that's one of the things that NASA will be studying today is try to figure out why is that atmosphere hotter than the actual sun's surface.
Wait, rewind. So there's like a study going on with today? So not
Correct.
only is this
Correct.
awesome,
they're
but
gathering.
we're also doing, they're getting information
Oh,
about
they're
the Earth.
literally getting information
And
about
that
the
happens
atmosphere.
with every eclipse of any nature, is that they kind of study the effects. I'm so glad to be watching this alongside.
I'm telling you, I want him to keep talking, giving me more information.
Laura and I come at this, as spectators, just kind of the awe of it and the fanfare.
novice.
But Greg D, you can tell, has been studying this. And,
Well, this is the big center of my job. This thing comes out every day, and it kind of plays with me, right? I mean, it determines the temperature, whether I'm going to hit it or not. Is it going to fire storms or not?
Yeah.
How hot is the Gulf of Mexico going to get? Are we going to get a hurricane? It depends on the energy of the sun. In fact, that little ball that you're watching is basically responsible for life on Earth. I mean, it is what gives us energy.
That's super cool.
Greg D just went deep with the
I went
eclipse
deep.
coverage.
I went
I
deep.
went like this and
I like it.
This is a celestial moment. We are one with the sun.
So, when all the little kids and nephews and nieces and younger people in your life ask you, many, many years from now. So, Greg D, how was it when you experienced the solar eclipse way back when? Tell me about it.
When I'm telling them,
Are you gonna have this enthusiasm?
Yeah, I was with Ashley and Laura. We were out in the tent. We were watching it. We had this monitor.
The whole way.
So cool. We had these. In 2045, these glasses are probably going to be upgraded to something a little bit better.
We should save these.
Speaking
guys.
of the glasses, though, can we talk about the glasses phenomenon? People thought this was a game. Like, seriously, I'm not joking when I say, I remember a month or two ago when we started seeing these little boxes popping up in different areas of Tampa Bay. And when I first saw it, I said, this is a joke. This can't be. People just trying to make money off of an event. And then it became, no, really, you need those glasses to be able to look up in the sun. And now you've got people, even as late as today, Facebooking me saying, do you know where I can get some of those glasses?
Yeah, I had that.
Like about the same time last week-ish, everyone in the Bay Area kind of caught on to the fact that you need these glasses, because Laura and I both started doing checks around town at various stores, and it was almost as if the same day they were sold out everywhere.
And I think what happened there. So this is an animation. I've seen this. Yeah. So this is what the eclipse would look like from the moon. It's going to be hard to see, but you're going to see. There's the black dot. You see that on the Earth? That's what the moon would see. A little shadow moving across the Earth as it passes between the Earth and the sun. Actually,
and
show that
remind
to
us, Greg, why, when you have different solar eclipses, why the line changes. Why sometimes you're going to see a totality in Tampa Bay, but sometimes you won't.
Well, it's because the darkest shadow, that little black dot that moved across the Earth, is only 75 miles wide at the darkest point. This is what it would look like from the space station. You'd see, look at the Earth, look at the black dot there moving across the Earth. That's the shadow of the moon moving across the Earth's surface. We are on the edge of that dark spot. The very center of that, where all of the sun is covered, is only 75 miles wide. So when you think about the size of the Earth, you have to be very lucky to be within that 75-mile stretch. The reason why it's not in the same location is because the alignment between the moon, the Earth, and the sun happens at different parts of the Earth, sun, and moon orbit. It's a lot to digest.
It is, and those animations do help. By the way, those come to us from Rice University. So as you're kind of explaining what we're seeing, it really does help you understand what's going on. I have to say, though, the best view I've seen so far is right here of Tampa, because it's so neat that this
really
is
want to walk out there right now and look at this.
Go ahead, take a moment.
Hold on. Before you leave,
I want to do the same thing.
Garfield, can you hand those to me, sir?
I don't know
Thank you so much.
I don't know if it's just me, but maybe it's actually, look around. Does it look as bright as it should at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
See, this
is it just me, or is it just?
This looks absolutely bright to me.
Okay, I think the brightness around us is just a little bit lower.
So this feels like what, 4 o'clock to you?
It feels like as if there was a thin cloud over the sun.
Clouds are gone
That's
now.
what it feels like.
Okay, and it's like
take it in, report back. We'll tag out.
This is it.
Go ahead, look longer.
Enjoy it.
I cannot.
3 minutes is fine. 3 minutes is fine.
It was only 30 seconds. You're okay. I love how we all have it. We're all clutching our glasses. Take a look at this drone video too. This is from Nashville. Any idea, Greg? You know what the view is in Nashville? What kind of coverage they see?
They will be in totality. So Nashville is the largest city by population under the stripe of totality. So there's a lot of folks heading out there. And totality only lasts for about 2 minutes to up to 2 minutes and 40 seconds, almost 3 minutes. So it's a very short period. You're really, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, that's all you really get to experience that for.
And you just better soak it in.
And that's why people are waiting, right? That's why they're all gathering right now.
From the side of this building, I think the place is called maybe Tootsie's, Toasties, something like that. But it says it's a bar and lounge. So all those people are gathered on a rooftop, hanging out together, really experiencing this.
I bet this is an event that business organized. I can't imagine that.
Well, we've been taking, the live pictures from across the country. We've been seeing people camping, hanging out in yards. We want to go to Dennis Phillips now, who's doing a Facebook Live. Let's listen into what he's experiencing in South Carolina.
The circumference of the edge of the moon.
What time for Avon Park, Florida?
Avon Park, again, will be about 80%, 81%, so it's already started right now, and it ends at about 4:20. So I believe you peak around 2:50. I believe that's what it was. I don't have Tampa's numbers handy.
Apparently it's raining in Hudson, too.
Yeah, and we all know Florida weather. That's unfortunately the big issue. But you also know Florida weather in 5 minutes, that rain can be over. So hopefully it'll clear you out. And here's the thing to remember in the Bay Area. You're not going to have totality. So it doesn't really matter if you miss 15 or 20 minutes of it, because it's going to kind of look the same for quite a prolonged period of time once you're at 80%. I'm hearing a question from Ryan. Ryan, do you have a question? Josh. Do you have a question?
No, I want to stay still more.
Oh, you want to stay with me? Oh, but you said you didn't want to be on my shoulders.
Is your phone going to suffer from pictures?
You know what? I don't have that answer, and a lot of folks have been saying that. I don't know. I know a lot of my kids, including Josh, you guys have used your cameras for pictures.
And same with Bradenton. It's going to be the same amount of time, that whole area where it'll end at 4:20. And
tops. So it doesn't matter if you miss 20 to 30 minutes of it. You're only going to be seeing about 3/4 coverage anyway. But are you excited? What do you think? She's been looking at it too with her protective glasses. Any other questions? We'll come back at around 3:38, 3:39, just before totality.
Same thing with St. Pete and most of the Tampa Bay area. It's going to be the same, 80%. It ends at about 4, and it's okay if you miss some, because it's going to be the same basically the whole time. So.
Pretty good. Yeah, exactly. No matter where you are in the Bay Area, it's going to be about the same. The farthest southern point of totality is somewhere in northern Georgia, cutting diagonally up toward around Charleston.
And Dale, we've been doing the same thing, putting our glasses over our phones so we can take pictures. It's probably a good idea to do that.
Yeah. By the way, the voice behind the camera is my son Josh. He's a freshman at Palm Harbor University, so he's been working the camera as well. So
Vero Beach.
So
that
again,
was
show
Dennis Phillips, our chief meteorologist there in South Carolina. You know he was going to make sure he was in a place of totality.
I can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure he took an RV. Loaded it up with as many people as he could,
like like the Griswold,
and took it to the optimal viewing spot.
From Charlie, hold the mic the same way. So if you're holding it in either the left or the right, I guess, I don't know.
No, he's talking the left.
We're getting information from the back there. Okay, got it. All right, there it is again. There's Tampa. So we're getting 81% coverage here in Tampa. What I don't understand though is, Greg, how is it going to be 81%? Like it looks like it's crossing over. Like why wouldn't it be 100? You
it's a little north of center. It's a little up from the moon's a little north of center. You're going to see the bottom of the sun remain. A little sliver of it, about 19% or so. For our friends up in Citrus County, you're going to see about 84% coverage. So it depends on where you are. In Sarasota, down towards Englewood, it's going to be more like 78%. So,
now it's significantly getting shady. It's starting to feel like it's getting shady.
It's kind of weird.
Is that the clouds though, or
No.
is that the eclipse effect?
We are in the shadow of the moon. This is the penumbra. I always get this. There's two. There's the numbra and the penumbra. They're the two shadows. You got this? Okay.
Hold this.
Okay, here we go.
It's interesting you should mention that.
Stan, I've been waiting.
Bust it out, Ashley.
I've been waiting to tell you what the penumbra is.
Okay.
The part of a shadow, as of the moon or earth, within which the source of light, such as the sun, is only partially blocked, also refers to the lighter outer area of a sunspot.
That's where we are. We are in the penumbra then. And the numbra, is there one for that?
No.
While you all look for that, though, our Eric Waxler, I believe, is at Bayonet. Is that?
Yes.
Yes, Bayonet. And look at the kids. Bayonet Point Middle School. The kids are indoors, but they're learning about the solar eclipse. Eric, what can you tell us?
So we can keep as much in the building before we go outside.
Teachers, please pardon the interruption one final time. Please make sure all students take all of their belongings with them, as they will be dismissed from the viewing. Thank you.
Can I ask a favor? What do we need to do with the chairs? Stack them right now. Can we do that, please? Not yet. Now, what did you say, Juan? Put them on outside when we go outside the building, because you can't see through these. Turn around, Juan. Turn around, buddy.
I'm so used to one like this side, one like that side, one like this side.
There you go. Back here. Stack those up. Stack those up.
Okay, friends. We are going to dip away from Bayonet Point Elementary, Newport Richey, where you can see the kids are kind of loading up to go outside and really view this with their solar eclipse glasses. We're going to go to Carbondale, Illinois, where they're going to experience the longest duration of totality, and it's about to begin. So let's go to Carbondale now.
And we're going to get cloud cover. Maybe it's this place, and maybe they'll come back again in 7 years. But right now, you can't tell that there's disappointment. All right, there we go. If you can, David, we're starting to get a little break in the cloud. And if you can't update me about the clock, we might be under 30 seconds left of totality. We got a cloud that's really messing with us right now, David.
Oh, we feel your pain there. 18 seconds left. If anything changes, TJ, we'll come right back to you. As you mentioned, if any place they can handle the clouds or a moment of
there it is.
Indecisive weather. Oh, you can see it. You can see a little sliver. Look, with 5 seconds left. That's the gift to Carbondale, Illinois. Look at that.
Oh, there we go.
Just a hint right there, just before it ended. What an extraordinary gift right there in the last final few seconds.
We'll take it, David. We'll take it.
All right, TJ, thanks to you. We're going to come back to you in just a moment. I want to get to...
It's really neat to hear the people there in Carbondale, Illinois cheering.
It's like they were at a football game.
It was. Somebody just scored the game-winning touchdown. You know, they were cheering, they were celebrating, and it just seemed like a really cool moment. Again, Carbondale had the longest duration of totality, and they just experienced, you know, part of that.
So 2:47 is when we're going to be at the peak here in Tampa Bay, about that time, 2:47, and that's
the
when
time check now is 2:23, so we're getting close.
We're close. And
Getting
I mean,
very close.
This is just super cool what we're seeing right now. And I'm looking around us, but I can't really see anybody else who's like kind of standing outside waiting for this to happen. But my mom just sent me a couple pictures from where she is right now. She's on a tall building, and she can see people all across the area where she is, and they're all standing on the roof of the buildings trying to watch it.
Can you ask her to take a photograph of that? And
she did, and she sent it on our way.
Did she hashtag it? Eclipse action.
Eclipse action.
Because that would be amazing.
Super
Mama
cool.
Harris, please do that.
I love that and it's just like you were saying, just bringing people together. They're all standing out in the streets, and to see, that's kind of cool. Very cool.
And the live picture you're looking at right now is Tampa. So Laura, Greg, and I, we all just kind of stepped away a few moments ago to put on our glasses and looked up, and this is what we were seeing through our glasses.
You're about to see a live picture from Chicago, I do believe. I'm going to switch that one over in just a moment. This is still Tampa, though, what you're looking at. That's Chicago. Look how awesome that is.
So that's going to be very close to what we're going to see. Their coverage, I think, is just a little bit higher than ours, but they're in that 80-some% range.
Yeah.
So this is where we're headed.
And Greg, you were talking earlier about being able to kind of see the power, the energy, kind of coming off. Are we seeing clouds there, or are we seeing the power, the energy coming off the sun you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the camera just having a real hard time between focusing on the brightest thing in the sky and then the darkest thing in the sky all next to each other. I mean, it's blowing out the image. I mean, that's just 19% or 20% of the sun's energy, and you're seeing it kind of blow the camera out.
I'm kind of geeking out watching everybody watching this.
It's weird. I mean, even if you don't have a way to view this, if you're in Tampa right now, step outside. It doesn't feel like it should at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's kind of breezy, and we're just being told that President Trump is outside right now taking a gander at what he's seeing in Washington, D.C. I wonder, what are they seeing in D.C. right now? What does that look like?
They're seeing a little bit more coverage than we are.
And there's the view right there of Sessions.
There's Jeff Sessions,
Attorney General
yes.
Jeff Sessions there, and some other government leaders. But we were told that President Trump is outside experiencing
because everybody's
this
stopping.
Right now.
I bet like this is the next 15 to 20 minutes. There's no productivity anywhere.
Mr. Sessions, where are your solar eclipse glasses?
You're not listening. The ISO told you.
Somebody get
NASA
Mr.
told him
some solar eclipse
You've got to
glasses.
listen to what we've told you.
And we're back on Tampa now. Again, we are getting so close. 248 is it 247, 248?
In the Bay Area,
right around there?
245 to 250, depending on where you live. Tampa downtown, 250.
Right. Okay. So we're getting very close.
It's just so funny how more and more. I wish you guys could see how many people are gathering now behind the camera. Yeah. Nobody's in the building.
No, as they shouldn't be. You know.
We're all watching it.
I'm gonna see if I can get a Facebook Live queued up here.
And if you guys can pull up the weather computer too, if you can maybe take a look at that.
Yes. Can we see the weather computer? Does anybody have the weather computer? Greg D would like to see that. And for those of you who are watching us, we just appreciate you being with us as all of this is happening, because we're like experiencing it together, and I think that's super cool.
And Laura and I have been begging for photographs of your watch party for hours, and people are sending them to us, so we want to thank you for that as well.
And I think we're about to see Nashville. Hello, there's an extra pair of glasses right here. I want my coworkers to be safe. Right there. They're for you. Yes.
Thank you.
So now we're all here.
Do you know how I queue up the Facebook Live?
Yes, hold on.
So there's the weather computer, and notice not everyone is sunny. Up towards Pasco and Hernando County on the border there, if you're near Brooksville, south of Brooksville, Shady Hill, you're getting rain right now. There's rain on 75 headed up just north of Zephyr Hills near Brooksville, and then around Orlando, they're getting some rain as well. So if you are in Hernando and Pasco County, head south. Head south on the Veterans, head south on 75, and see if you can get to an area where you can see this. Or head north into Citrus County on Highway 19 to Suncoast Parkway. Take that up into Citrus County, because there is a little bit of rain out there. And as we told you, south of I-4, it's basically all clear and sunny, and that's where you want to be, or on the beach. The beaches are also a good place to be. I just checked the radar. Others in our region, not so lucky. Jacksonville getting rain right now. Savannah getting rain.
You just made a great point, though. Can you imagine being at the beach, and if it is when we do get totality, and you're at the beach and it just goes dark?
Yeah.
Look at his
It's
face.
weird. It's
He's
weird.
lighting
It's
up.
like,
He's
it's like, what?
And bugs and crabs will all come out.
Just for that little bit of time.
The sea monsters are going to come out.
Yes.
Can we say hi to Facebook Live real quick, everyone?
Facebook
We're
Live.
from all angles.
Hey.
Hello.
What's going on,
Hello. We're everywhere. Laura keeps talking about, you know, how
live
so many
pictures
people
coming in
are
from
on our
Madras
view right now, so I'm showing people
Oregon.
what's going
Okay.
on.
I think I'm going to set up mine, so I'm going to hand my mic over to you. We'll do a little setup here.
There you go.
Okay, this is like, I'm getting really excited. More people are showing. We should have had like popcorn.
Or moon pies.
Or moon pies.
It always comes back to the moon
It
pies.
always gets back to the moon pies.
And Oreos.
I think that everyone who's out in the back there should come up and be in the, so they can see everybody who's here. So this is Madras, Oregon. This was the first place, this is where it all started earlier this morning, about 9:05 Pacific time, so it was 12:05 our time.
And this is one of the first views where we've seen some variation on the sun. I don't know if that's just the camera or what that is, but you know, we kind of have seen a solid view of the sun, and you kind of see some variation there. That's cool, just a different view.
It takes a lot. You know, these days, Ashley, we see a lot in news media.
Are you saying nothing surprises you these days?
Kind of. You know, you look at it and you're like, I'm just not surprised.
Look at this, folks.
Nashville.
It is dark in Nashville. You're looking at it. Wait, is this Carbondale, Illinois, friends? With our digital team, or is this Nashville? Here is Nashville. Look, it is dark in Nashville.
Oh my gosh, look at it, Greg. That's Nashville.
Wow.
The lights are on. The street lights are on.
Greg, it was not cool. 2-3 minutes ago, we were in Nashville looking from a rooftop bar, and it was bright and sunny, and now it is dark in Nashville.
I'm literally getting chills. This is incredible. And it's going to stay like that for, oh my gosh, look how it's getting light again.
2 or 3 minutes. It's about 2 to 3 minutes.
That is insane.
Wow.
I'm
Greg,
officially
this is
wowed.
That same purple rooftop bar restaurant we were coming to earlier, Greg, and look at the difference.
It's as if like Nashville was in another continent and we were looking at their evening, right? Like Europe or something, but they're literally just to our north. That's incredible.
We need a time check, friends, because we're getting close in
So it's 2:30 right now, and we're on Facebook Live in so many different ways. I'm trying to
go on my
Greg
Facebook
D is
page
about
as
to go
well.
live. And I'm trying to share Ashley's right now so that you can really see what we see, all the people gathering out here. This is truly incredible.
You know, we've been seeing this all over the country, people gathering, and it's just really neat that right here on our ABC Action News rooftop, you know, looking around, everybody's just hanging out, everybody's got their glasses, everybody's sharing their glasses, looking up, snapping pictures.
And make sure that you, if you're at a watch party, like Ashley said, show us your pictures. Hashtag Eclipse Action. We will see them, and then maybe you'll see them on the air a little bit later on.
And I really hope to see that Eclipse Action picture from Mama Harris.
Oh, she's already sent it in. She's, my mom is super excited about this. It was, you know, something that she's never seen either, so.
And we're back to that live view now from Tampa, is what you're seeing right there. Maybe that's not Tampa.
247 is.
It again.
I'm going to take another
Blackwell, Missouri is what you're
Missouri.
looking at here. Blackwell, Missouri, and they're getting close there to darkness.
This is like, and all I see in my timeline right now is people watching the eclipse. That's it.
So friends, as you're watching with us via Facebook Live, through our free mobile app, through abcxnews.com, we would love to know where you're watching from. So if you can comment and tell us, or tweet out, where are you watching from? Are you here in the Tampa Bay area? Are you elsewhere in the country? I would just love to know.
And what you saw when from where you are.
Yeah,
it's
I would
super
just love
cool.
to know where everybody is kind of virtually having this watch party with us.
And we're all doing it together. That's the cool part. Like, even though we're here together, but like we're watching people who are watching it. Yeah, it's just. Hey, Action Air 1 is up. So apparently they were able to
Let's show
get
you
up
Action
there.
Air 1.
Gonna
Action
get
Air
us
1
some.
is flying up there.
And now it's kind of getting quiet because it's like everybody wants to see it. Like, you know.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around
How long have we been waiting for this? Like, I can't even remember when we first started talking about it. It was months ago.
Well, and it didn't seem real until really the last couple of days.
You know, and I have to be honest with you, and Ashley will vouch for this. I would come to work every day and just say, what if it rains on Monday?
What if it rains?
What are
Laura
we going to do
was
if
the
it,
skeptic. Laura
if it
was the
rains on
solar
Monday?
eclipse
I mean,
what are we
you
going to
know,
do?
It's August. We could have been dealing with a tropical storm or
Anything could have happened.
Right.
You know, I interviewed a USF student who has been planning this with his childhood best friends, like 20 of them, for 8 years.
Wow.
They have been planning. They took a road trip to South Carolina. They rented a home, so I can only imagine what they're, how they're feeling right now.
They scouted out a location?
They scouted out a location. They rented a house.
Eric Moore.
Again, 8 years of planning.
Wow. I mean, but that's the way you got to do it, because the best locations went fastest. And now, I mean, I was hearing this morning of people paying $1,500 to get a camping spot in Oregon.
Wow.
On Good Morning America this morning because they were late to the party.
Wow. Can we talk about how this thing is about to happen? What did we say, 247?
250, so we got about 19 minutes. 16 minutes.
So at what point we got to move out of this tent, friends?
We got to make it happen. And then I'm trying to find some. Okay, so I have to admit, I just did what we told everybody not to do. I literally went like this. It was not smart. My eye hurts.
But it was just a quick glance. She did not stare.
I may or may not be able to see out of my right eye, but there's that.
If Laura is not present for 4 o'clock, then now Tampa Bay, we know why.
Do a show like this. Gosh. So don't do it, guys, because I just did it, not thinking.
Where are your glasses?
We're going to move out there in a minute. Ooh, let's see that chopper shot. Action Air 1. We just saw Action Air. The airport's like right there, so we just saw, traffic's moving just fine. Nobody needs to worry.
Thank goodness. I talked to troopers a lot, and they said they were anticipating a smooth day, but that they were certainly aware that there could be some traffic issues. But from this shot, it looks like everybody's behaving. There's not too much traffic on the roads. It's all moving along.
And it's funny because people will probably say to you, well, I've got some place to be and I'm not going to stop my car when it happens. But it's like human nature. If you start to see something really cool happening in the sky, you're going to stop.
This is my question. Why are people on the road? I mean, I think these are the non-believers. They did not think. I mean, guys, look outside this tent. It is darker. It is cooler. There is a noticeable change outside as we watch the next. There are the Bailey's beads. You see the roughness of the moon there on the edge? That's Bailey's beads. What you're looking at is the sun's individual rays going in between the peaks and valleys of the moon. There are mountain ranges on the moon, and just before totality, there you see the little dimples. Those are the sun's rays going through those valleys, showing you the topography of the moon. It is not smooth.
That is almost as fascinating, if not more, than the darkness that everybody's anticipating.
Yeah. I think it's the detail that leads up to it. And what's amazing about something like Bailey's beads is that it lasts for 3 seconds. 3 seconds before totality and 3 seconds before you come out of it.
And we've been watching this, Greg, now since about 1:17 Tampa time. And when it first started, it's like, it's happening. It's happening. And it's going to go until 4:14.
Right.
Which is an extended period of time, considering.
This darkness you see outside right now, the kind of weird, it looks like it's like it looks like somebody just put a filter.
I was just going to say, it looks like an Instagram filter right here.
Literally a filter onto the sky. It really is incredible the way it looks. It just doesn't look right.
I'm interested to see. I mean, we're anticipating the darkness, but I'm wondering, is it going to get quiet? Like, what are we going to hear? We've been hearing cheering in some live shots. What are we going to hear from the ABC Action News rooftop? Is Tampa going to go quiet for a few minutes? I can't wait to kind of listen.
Well, what I like is that I'm starting to see people over at Ray J.
Good.
Like maybe some of the workers or something, kind of like moving, making the moves. They know what time it's going to happen.
I think they looked outside and thought, what's going on out there?
What's going on? Look, our web team has joined us. Listen, the whole building's going to be up here. We're good.
Push alert, by the way. Yeah, abcactionnews.com. There will
I
be
love
app
this.
too. You can watch this on the app if you can't be by a TV, a computer, a laptop, wherever.
And tell your friends. Tell your friends that we're streaming.
Yeah,
we're here.
Absolutely. Yeah, more and more folks are coming out. So there you see the coverage there in Tampa.
I wish that they could see all these people, because it just looks like we're just looking at randos.
Well, if you go to our Facebook Lives, Laura,
yes,
yours and my page, we're kind of showing you our
You can see the people.
You can see our little
It really is
here.
amazing.
And so the picture that you're looking at right now is from our chief photographer, Eric Moore. And he's kind of rigged his camera so that this has been totally safe. He's been doing this since it started, since it looked like a little speck up at the top there. And we'll have about 81% coverage by about 2:50.
Are you still hearing from our digital folks, Laura?
I'm thinking that maybe they're on their way up here.
I have lost them, so we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
We're just going to keep going.
We're not sure
Greg,
if we're with you or not.
I love that Greg D is here.
I just got word we have Zach Perry at Mosey in downtown Tampa. I think we're going to go to him and see what he is experiencing.
Look at the kids, man.
2:49 to 2:50 p.m. In Tampa Bay. So really just in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes or so, we're going to be seeing as much coverage as 81%. And out here, I got to say, just in general, it is it is nowhere near as bright as it was just about an hour ago. I would say a lot of the sunlight has decreased. It is somewhat shady, and a lot of people seem to be out here at the Museum of Science and Industry here at Mosey. And we're going to walk over here to where the telescopes are, where people are kind of having an opportunity to take a look at the sun firsthand.
That was actually pretty cool.
And some of these people literally have been waiting in this line for hours just to get a glimpse at the sun.
I don't know why it's all right there. Right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Who's next? Excuse me, ma'am. What did you see at the eclipse here?
A big lighted up banana. That's what it looked like.
How special is it? Yeah, what did you see?
It was really cool. It was it looks like a banana. Yeah. I've really never seen anything like it.
And it only it doesn't only happen, it's not something you see nearly every day.
That's why we waited an hour and a half.
So you waited here an hour and a half?
An hour and a half, yes.
Was it worth the wait, though?
Sure. Yeah? Sure, once in a lifetime thing, right?
Yeah. Did you see the eclipse?
Yes, I did. It looked like a lighted up banana, yes.
That's a very good thing. Now, did you guys just do the telescope here, or did you bring glasses at all?
Well, we had people in line with us that we actually used their glasses, so that was really lucky, and we used the box.
Oh yeah, I got a homemade box here. Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome.
We actually had made a cereal box and it didn't work.
So that's okay.
Kind of fell apart.
Oh, yeah? So would you say though the wait was certainly worth it coming to see the eclipse?
Yes.
It has. I'm not going to be able to explain it, but.
Oh, okay, we're back.
We're back
The three Musketeers have become four, and
Look
Shay
who joined
Ryan,
us.
meteorologist Shay Ryan, has come with some breaking news. Shay, tell us what you just learned.
So I was reading that during the eclipse, you're actually 1.7 pounds lighter.
Look how slim we look!
Isn't it crazy?
1.7 pounds.
Yeah, I can't explain the science behind it completely. It's complicated, but yeah, there you go.
Even if that's not true, I'm just going to believe it.
I'm going to believe it for that split second. I'm going to believe it.
Have that moon pie, Laura.
Friends, I think we need
My
to
boss is shaking his head. He's
He
like,
keeps
no,
trying to give me a moon pie.
Let's take a quick glance up at the sun, guys, with our glasses, because we're getting very close.
This is just incredible. So 250 here. You're gonna. She's got the safe glasses now.
Okay.
And what you're looking at.
Holy cow.
Oh, and I
we're
do
gonna go
believe
to the president now, who is watching this eclipse from DC. Let's see what the president's how he's taken in this view. And we see the president.
He's got on his special
Lady Melania
glasses.
Trump there.
I'm glad he did that because Attorney General Jeff Sessions did not have on his glasses earlier, and we were concerned.
Yeah.
You gotta wear your glasses. And it's cooler, like Shay was saying, it's cooler out here, and it's definitely a weird shadow. It's not like a cloud shadow.
It's like a filter. It's not like the dark of night. Mm-hmm. And it is different than a cloud going over too. Right. Yeah. It is interesting.
I just want to I'm going to take a quick video of this.
Oh,
because
good
I want
catch. Good catch.
There's
I
Barron.
Want to, in many years, know what I was doing at this moment, and you ladies are going to be in it.
And look at all these people.
How's the eclipse, friends?
It's incredible. Like this is just really cool.
Super special.
And we're all seeing it together. And it's not even all the way.
Yeah, it's almost, right? We've got the crescent. My phone died.
That's super awesome.
You know, I just became a super
7
fan.
minutes. I want to see the
7
count.
minutes.
Do we still have the countdown clock, the eclipse countdown clock? Because at one point that was like 45 days.
Greg is the new and improved countdown clock.
And so now Greg is doing it.
7 minutes.
That's so cool.
And look how everyone's geeking out over this cloud right now.
Listen, I feel like we're gonna cheer.
Imagine Totality. I mean, this is why
it's super cool.
I'm already putting in for 2024 for a day off, and then 2045 as well.
Well, you know, the bosses are all here around you, right? So you should talk to them immediately.
This is my notice.
I wish so. Again, to the right of your screen there, you're seeing what we're seeing in Tampa from the roof of ABC Action News. We're right across the street from Raymond James Stadium, and I wish that you could see all the people who are out here with us enjoying this.
And the countdown is probably, what, 5 minutes at this point?
6 minutes, 2:44
6 minutes.
right now.
You've been sharing your pictures with us all morning, you know, leading up to this big moment we're almost at of when we're going to have this darkness in the Tampa Bay area.
But Shay, I mean, we were talking to Greg about this earlier. This has to be one of, if not the coolest thing to see as a meteorologist.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those phenomenons that you wait for, and I mean, as we all know, Dennis is right there at the, you know, at the heart of it too. I mean, that shows you just how big and special it is that, you know, people are traveling from far and wide just to capture it.
Yeah, they are.
And Jacksonville, Florida is one of those spots that we were talking about earlier that they're actually going to see. Isn't it about 90%?
If they can see it, let me check the radar because it was raining up in Savannah.
This man's phone has
not
been
long ago.
Look at that.
This is
That's Jacksonville right now.
So they are
WJXT, the affiliate there. And on the left is Tampa. On the right is Jacksonville. So you can see the comparison, you know, North Florida to here.
Super.
I wonder if that camera is in Jacksonville or whether they've traveled to see it a little farther north, the north side of their viewing area. 90% of the sun's coverage, you would still see a good sliver of the sun. So that looks like they may be a little even farther north than Jacksonville.
And then that's Tampa again. That's our camera up here on the roof.
And there are thunderstorms all around Jacksonville right now. A lot of clouds. I've got family. I know they are going to be so disappointed. My parents are inadvertently vacationing on Hilton Head, which is going to see 99.7%.
Very close.
It's pouring.
Oh no.
It's absolutely pouring. Now, they didn't go down there for the eclipse, thank goodness.
Well,
but they're going to be disappointed.
there's one thing to do. Queue up ABC Action News.
right.
Your
And you
mobile
can just
app,
watch it
and
here.
we
And
have
you know,
great views.
There's some people who are actually on an eclipse cruise right now. It was a 7-day cruise that left out of Port Canaveral, 7 days, and they were going to be on the cruise while they could see, and they were going to be on the line of Totality.
And there
so
was
that
a
was
special
kind of cool.
performer too.
Well, Bonnie, is it her?
Bonnie Hunt,
Total
maybe?
Eclipse of the
Total
Heart.
Eclipse
She
of the
was
Heart.
going to sing.
Bonnie Tyler
is singing it on
need
the
a little
cruise.
No one here was.
Bonnie Tyler.
Look at everybody back there's like,
what? They take the.
Steal yours for a
Yes,
second?
yes, it is awesome. So you're still looking at Tampa now. Look at all the people.
And let's do a check on our official countdown that is Greg D, the meteorologist. How
Okay,
long do we
we've
have, Greg D?
got 4 minutes in Tampa now. 4 minutes.
And again, some important reminders. Look at your surroundings. Don't just look up. Look at all the things going on around you for this really rare moment. Take a photograph of what's going on around you.
Their reaction.
Yes.
I feel like we should all cheer when we get to that point of 81%.
You know what? I think the four of us can lead that cheer.
We will lead it. Digital team is now upstairs. There they are. They've been they've been all waiting for this. They've worked so hard for this.
They have. They've worked really hard.
And we're just going to stay with you here on this Tampa camera as we get closer and closer. We're only a couple minutes out, 3-4 minutes out, so we're going to stay right here so you see the view of exactly what's going on in Tampa.
My kids were really excited. I gave them my glasses, by the way, so I wanted to make sure that they had, I figured there'd be plenty of people around to share here at the station, but they were excited to watch our live streaming.
But can you imagine, like, if we're this excited about this event, a child has to be like, they don't even really get it all the way. You know what I mean?
Right. They had some research projects in school this week. They had to, you know, write and research about the eclipse so they had a better understanding, which was really nice because the first couple of days of school, they hadn't really talked about it. And I think we might have talked about this last week, that my kids weren't really aware of what was going on. But then, of course, the teachers were on it, and over the weekend, they started doing it. So they're really psyched about today.
What a great learning opportunity in schools.
Yes.
Or, you know, some people are keeping their kids home from school to learn about it with their parents and their family. I
made
learned
my
a
kids
lot
go to
from
school.
Greg D all morning long.
Listen,
so
I should have been taking notes all day.
Yeah.
Because this has been incredible. I just, watching Greg in this has just been.
As we do geeking out. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh wait, what are they playing over there?
Well, I don't. Are they playing the song? But is it Total Eclipse of My Heart? I think it's Total Eclipse of My Heart.
Are they really?
I think it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, Total Eclipse of Me. Let's get that straight, you millennials.
We're across the street from Raymond James Stadium, and they're playing. What's it like? Total Eclipse of the Heart.
By Bonnie Tyler.
By Bonnie Tyler, who's also on a cruise ship right now called the Eclipse Cruise. So there's that.
It really doesn't feel that hot out. The temp, when I checked the temp just before I came up, and it was 93 degrees.
So my watch, I don't think mine is updating, but are we almost there? I think we're almost there.
We're almost there. We are 1 minute away.
1 minute
It's like we're counting down to New Year's.
Anyone, are you taking a video?
We're 1 minute away.
No, my battery is almost dead. Been doing
I will take said video.
Okay.
So are you doing a video through those, or how are you doing it?
I was gonna just do one on my phone. You're on it, Laura?
Yep.
You shoot it horizontal, like pros.
I will do that.
All right, everybody, we are
So you got a camera set up.